Hello, everyone, and welcome to uh, another Any Given Sunday. And it's not Sunday anymore; it's Monday. Like wow, J.M. Menelik. Why are you asking me what happened? Yeah, I know. Is it because I changed the title or because I'm late? Possibly. One G's, what's going on? Shoot, thanks for stopping by. And for everyone who is on their way in or who will watch the replay when it uploads after I go off the air, please hit that like button. And if you are stumbling upon this channel for the first time ever, please hit that subscribe button. This channel it has been having pretty good growth lately, and I do appreciate all the support, all of the likes, all of the cash apps, all of the super chats. I appreciate everything. So, okay, so I know I named this broadcast something else originally. If I named it "Black Man." If you don't protect yourself, no one will. But I mean, I've been on the road, so I'm sure that's a broadcast that will have to be backed by some empirical data for black men, so we have a full understanding of the gravity of that situation, and that's only fair to a topic like that. So, um, just I just had to come up with some real quick to replace it. So, for anyone that pressed like previously, just because of that subject matter, I would like to thank you. But at the last second, I decided to go along with something else. The exercise of tolerance, basically, tolerance for black men, what we have to deal with per se, and what uh, what we have to do to get through the day to day. And at the end of the day, you have to use common sense, more common sense than the normal person. So I would say that much. I'll say that much. I'll say that much. You have to use more common sense. You have to present yourself in a very non-threatening way, and just having to do that anyway, to have to appear non-threatening, that presents and is a challenge within itself. But it's detrimental that we do this, and especially uh, in the sons of Black America. Uh, just just think about the first case scenario instead of the final case scenario. Sometimes, let me put it like that. Um, first case scenario should not to just attack. First case scenario should be to act with some level of diplomacy. Um, to work it out peacefully. That should be always the first course of action. Yeah. It should never have to resort to the final case scenario, because the final case scenario a lot of times ends up in someone getting hurt. And we don't want anyone getting hurt when we're trying to move forward here in the Black Manosphere, in your everyday lives, basically. So that's just one thing I want us to understand. We don't need to be doing anything to get ourselves hurt, but a lot of the times we can't avoid that either. So it's a tough world out there. It really is. It really is. But this this is to go into some of the just behavior part of it. Um, Not so much action part. What you have to tolerate in order to get through everyday life. What you see out in this world. Most of the time, people, when they get around to talking about stuff like this, they will tell you not to pay attention to anything, to be positive, to remain positive. A lot of people will tell you to pray. Pray about it. Pray about it. And everything will be all right. And I'm not going to be completely objectionable to prayer. Whatever works for you, whatever you believe in. Um, I will say a prayer sometimes, but the experiment known as my life, which does make it a little personal. I like to see where my own actions will take me. And I'm not saying that suggesting that for you. What I'm saying is there is a level of human responsibility that goes along with you go living from day to day lives. Now, this could everyone could relate to this. This isn't gender specific because I know we live in a time where we have a ratchet bunch out there. So, um, for some reason, the people with higher level of tolerance have to deal with the snarky bunch. People who always throwing bombs and starting shit. And I don't know. It's some of it is overly dramatic. Some of it could be planned just to make for good television. But at the same time, everybody don't know that sometimes. Just to try to get under somebody's skin just because. Shout out DJ B Side 1965. Say greetings and aloha. Are you on a tropical island, sir, or just saying hello in another language? So either way, everything's cool. So thanks for dropping by. So anyway, what I was saying was, yeah, there's a lot of bullshit out here. Um, I'm not telling you what to do. Everything is pretty much easier said than done. But what I'm saying is that I'm not telling you to be the bigger person. I'm not gonna ever tell anyone not to defend themselves. I'm not gonna ever tell anyone they have to tolerate bullshit. Usually when you hear the word tolerance is used in kind of an SJW context, like you have to tolerate certain groups of people that are different from you. I'm not talking about that. I just want to clarify for everyone watching that I'm here to say that uh, you know I have to fly the diversity flag or something. I'm just trying to find a way to put it because, see, I'm not like that. I do believe in human accountability. I don't believe that any group really, honestly, should get special treatment. I mean, of course, the reparations argument for blacks because of we basically built this country and there's no way to deny that. I mean, we are far removed from those times, but we people feel like that. Well, we're owed a little something, so I will always be in favor of something like that. But we everyone is put in front. When everyone else is put in front, then our understand is that we have to exercise some kind of level of tolerance and patience not to completely flip out. But here's where I'm going with this. Here's where I'm going with this. That's not the context. That's not the subject matter when I talk about tolerance. I'm talking about what we have to tolerate as being a black person, especially black men. It's almost as if it's like if you know the consequences of a situation, if you act a certain way, if you already know, then it's pretty much going to be your fault if you go down the path that leads you to destruction. You should know better. To nullify that, you have to use a little common sense. But shout out to New. But I see a lot of us out here, especially within the space, And I hear about this from, I would say, more patient content creators, that people sometimes when they can't get you to, will get them, sometimes when you won't agree with them, then they start to fling insults at you. They start calling you names. I was watching a broadcast earlier. Dude was talking about how he was listening to a broadcast, and a person, the two were going at it. Dude was, I guess they were debating, and one guy started talking about the other guy's grandmother. Your grandmother this, your grandmother that. Oh God, some of us need to grow up. So I'm just gonna say this about this space. The habitual line steppers, we ain't gonna be here for that. Of course, like we'll, of course, we'll defend ourselves. We won't let anyone cross us. But at the same time, man, keep all that ratchet shit over there. Keep grandmas out of these conversations. Just for just for the sake of the human race. We'll put it that way. We'll put it on the human race. I mean, don't be talking about nobody grandma and nothing like that, man. Not at least not around here. I can't tell you what to do in other spaces, but it's like, over here in BBH and the habitual line steppers, man. We love our grandmothers, so is rest in peace to mine. But anyway, and everybody saying "damn," like Ron Simmons, "damn," damn. Uh, yeah, man. So yeah, but if it happened to, say if it happened to a person, what should be the proper uh, reaction to being disrespected, or uh, somebody coming out saying, "Hey, my nigga, your grandma ain't shit." What should be the proper reaction? Um, should it be? I mean, well, most people will say, stuff like, "Oh man, don't let it get to you, dog. Don't let it get to you." And I do agree with that. You shouldn't let it get to you, especially on the internet. I know how we feel about our family members, and I can't tell you what to do with yourself. But it's just like tough talking. It's just like somebody talking about they gonna buy a plane ticket. Somebody gonna pull up and shit. Pull up, nigga. I tried that one time. That dude pulled out. He said, "Hell no." I mean, I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I was with it, man. I was just like, "Look, it's what you want to do, dog." I mean, all these internet threats. I just wanted to see what was gonna happen. I mean, I have no reason at all to pull up on anyone. First of all, I'm aging. Shoot, I'm a grown ass man. I mean, like, but the dude on the other side was like, "Oh man, no man, I ain't mean now. I mean later." Like, no, nigga. The nigga been talking shit for days. I was like, dude, whatever, man. One thing that we have to realize is that in saying all of this is that a lot of people are full of hot air. I mean, 99.5% of the time, there's nothing to worry about. I mean, smart niggas don't want to make the news. They don't. I'll just put it that way. I'm sure in some instances, the pull ups actually happen. I'm sure, but how many have actually, they've actually ended in a fight? In a showdown. Gunfight at the OK Corral. That kind of shit. You don't be hearing about that stuff for real. Motherfuckers be hurting themselves, embarrassing themselves, I guess. I mean, there was one incident where somebody got floored, but there's no need to bring that up. It is what it is. It happens, you know. Sometimes we stumble, you know. Players fuck up too. Remember that. But see, my thing is, especially, you know, with my increasing age, so to speak, is that I have to go into self preservation mode even more. It's like, I ain't got time to fool with you niggas. I just rather, you know, exercise a huge amount of tolerance for people's bullshit. If you want me to elaborate more on the subject matter. What's the point of back and forth screaming? Get you a headache, run your blood pressure up. One day, one of my superiors, a while back, at a place that I worked, was like, this dude was like, I was always told by my daddy that if you was the loudest in an argument, that you was a winner. Well, the next thing I said was, well, man, your father probably kind of lied to you. Yeah, to say the least, he got upset, you know. But I knew that job wasn't permanent anyway. Dude, it's no point, especially on a internet broadcast. It like tears the entire show down. I mean, people love drama and shit, you know, but I like drama I can hear and make out, you know, just with what each person is saying instead of, hey nigga, motherfucker, hey, I'm buying a plane ticket. I'll be over there Friday, November 14th at 2. I mean, like, no man. They have a saying, selling wolf tickets. Look at some of these comments. His pops gave him some bad advice. Yeah, I think I clarified that for him, you know, and I really honestly, you know, a lot of times, like what I say to people, uh, I understand. I really do. I really do understand why people, you know, want to go on long tenures to defeat me or whatever, because I've said some shit to some folks. I understand that there's a level of tolerance people have to have with me, you know, but that's on another platform. Over here, over here is always going to be somewhat of a professional look, you know. You never want anyone to have a recording of you sounding like a fucking fool. Believe me, sometimes you ask a question and people focus on that one little 10-second bit instead of the whole conversation. So, you know, so we have to be consciously aware of that kind of thing. But if people got to come at you like that, it is best to be tolerant, not to run your blood pressure up, not to compromise your health, you know, not to go completely insane. If people have to go at you like that, you're doing something right. People will have you believe, and then they'll gaslight you. Yeah, people love to use that term gaslight. That's another that's another term that's gonna lose its value. I predict it probably might lose its value in a few weeks. People overuse that term. Gaslight. You gaslight me. Somebody told me that today on Facebook. Man, you're all you do is gaslight people. It was a dude. I was like, man, I told that man, I bet you took ballet and used women's soap and shit. You know, I what y'all be just using y'all every. They don't need to give y'all any more words. Period. Gaslight. I mean, I understand there's a true context to every word, including words like simp. I was told I was gaslighting, man. it's like it's like oh no, it's like I read people's comments and cry, baby. You know, it's like for real. Think about it. That shit'll help you get through the day, especially at a job. Shit, let me find that comment. Shoot, how's everyone doing? JB Mega Montana. What's going on? Why Skinner Man Cave? What's the dizzle? Yeah, I'm seeing words from different eras. Let's see. See if I can find some. See if I can find some comment that someone horribly. Yeah, it's dudes. I tell you, people, you have to tolerate a lot of stuff. You do. Let's see. Hmm. So this is what I say. I don't know. I'm just saying that if you step on a platform, win that opinion, then it's just y'all know what it is. Yeah, but let me not focus on those dumbass comments, and let me focus on the intelligent comments that are in my chat. Um, Nick Org, how you doing? Once again, black people, as a general rule, struggle with discussing abstract ideas. In this space, overusing words, confusing the definitions, and devolving the discussion to petty insults is the norm. And it gets quite a number of views as well, which is yeah, it gets views, but that's okay though. That's okay. We have to leave the decision making to the individual itself. We can't save the world, but we can save face at least sometimes. JB Megan Montana. Hey Kev, if you say hello to a female you don't know, what? Oh yeah, that's the misuse of the term. Hey Kev, if you say hello to a female you don't know, you a sin. I don't get that. I don't know. I mean, you might in this day and age, you might have something greater to worry about. You might get me too. You know. Shit, let me see. So let's look up some words. I'll do that. I will do that. Let's let, let me go ahead and okay. Yeah, it is. There it is. It's a Wikipedia definition, but everybody's like, "Oh man, people change Wikipedia when you want to." Let's see. Yeah, the Wikipedia definition is a bit thorough. So let's look up gaslighting. All right, fair use, as always. For the crummy people. But let me see. Says gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person or group covertly sows seeds of doubt in a targeted individual or group, making them question their own memory, perception, or judgment. So anyone that think that you're a stupid jackass, basically. I mean, that's a much harsher way of saying it, but yeah, I feel like I'm in the correct. Oh God, feelings. Okay, I have to. I'm trying to get out of the practice of feeling a certain way and trying to stick to a more factual point of view. But so okay, it continues. It may evoke changes in them, such as cognitive dissonance or low self esteem, rendering the victim additionally dependent on the gaslighter for emotional support and validation. Using denial, misdirection, contradiction, and misinformation, gaslighting involves attempts to destabilize the victim and delegitimize the victim's beliefs. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're a lot. Yeah, there may be a few females watching, but we're for the black men. You know what I'm talking about. Can you think of at least 10 individual times without, without the context of victimizing yourself? Because usually when someone like that explains something, they usually, like I said, the misuse of the term. But I know that you've at least can point out 5 different times with photographic memory where you have been gaslighted by someone. The the My one defense against gaslighting is stick to my guns and understand if I've truly been done wrong, then I've been done wrong, period. I've been wrong. One, one, one form of gaslighting is telling a person that they have to be the bigger person, coming to them first, or just coming to them only, and telling them, okay, such and such is like this. Just be the bigger person this time. You know, they doing that just to get to you. That's 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 cool for like 1, 2, or 3 times. You do build up mental defenses, but a lot of the times you just get tired of that shit. It's just you just get tired of the bullshit. You have to be the bigger person. It isn't worth it, and a lot of the time it isn't. I do agree with that. But if there's no attempts to put the other side in check, then you can be the bigger person all you want. It's not stopping shit. I hate it for people who have to go through that. You know, um, if me and the habitual line steppers agree on one thing, is that we weren't placed here for any form of abuse. Any form, and that's kind of what gaslighting is. It is a form of abuse. I don't want to say, black man, you're being abused. Oh my god, you just no. I don't want to. I don't want to. Invalidate you like that, because yes, we are men. We do take a macho route, whether we want to admit it or not. Most of us do. A lot of us are secure in our pants and just we think of the most intelligent way out of the situation. Usually, mine is finding a way to mentally destroy someone. Even if I know that I'm being gaslighted, then in my eyes, you don't have any respect for me. Yeah, that's making it personal. And I don't feel. Oh shit, field. Ah, second time. I need to do a shot game every time I say field. But I don't believe that you should have to go through any form of gaslighting, whether you are male or female. I think that people need to be honest with you. People should be honest with you. They owe you that respect. You have to believe that. So we're just going to have an understanding of the context of gaslighting in this broadcast. So if anybody wants to bring it up and they use it in an improper context, I will go to this definition. Alonzo Hall, shout out. What's going on? Nick Org, example. Black people are gaslighted by all other ethnic groups into believing that anti-black racism is not a figment of their own insecurity, ineptitude, etc. LOL. That's the best example. People are gaslighted into believing that anti-black. Insecurity. LOL. Okay, yeah, I understand that. All right. That's he's responded to DJ B side 1965. I mean, it said Mo lie, Mo lie, nigga P. Okay, yeah. Is it okay? Yeah, I knew you. Yeah, I was kind of like I didn't want to Yeah, but I got what you were saying, but yeah, that was it kind of threw me a bit. So you did confirm that, you didn't mean to put not in that sentence, but yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let me read that again. Well, correctly. Black people are gaslighted by all other ethnic groups into believing that anti black racism is a figment of their own insecurity, ineptitude, etc. LOL. Basically, just I don't know, basically it's just saying, like using the word nigger or something like that. Saying that. You ever heard like other ethnic groups saying that no one should be using that word? It's like, why is it their decision all of a sudden? That's just a small example. Um, so yeah, that's an example of a group. An example of an individual. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's a physical abuser. A physical abuser is a huge gaslighter. One of the most fucked up things I ever heard was an abuser say, mm the I don't know. It was depicted. It was depicted in a film based on a true story, but for dramatic effect. But one of the most fucked up things I ever heard an abuser say was, "Look what you're making me do." I'm sure that I'm sure that abuse victims have heard many many things said to them. One real situation was after, okay, I had a friend I used to work with, female friend. In love with this dude. He was like 28 and she was like 15 or 16 when they met. At that point, they were together for 5 years. She came to me one day, said, "I broke up with Sam." I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "What happened with you and Sam?" She said, "Sam punched her in the face. And when I looked closer, it looked like her face was a little swollen, but heavily made up. Her face was always heavily made up. Very pretty girl. Thick. Ooh." She was thick. So, yeah. So, I was like, okay. So, a few hours later, she come back to me. She was like, "I don't know what to do." Because me and Sam were friends at one point, over the years. So Sam to me was kind of like, it's like, "What are you doing, bro?" I ain't hang out with Sam much after that. I hadn't hung out with him strong for like years anyway at that point. But I had already knew him. Me and him used to roll tight. But anyway, Sam called her and said that he wasn't eating. That I can't live without you. I'm not gonna be able to eat. And she came to me like, "Oh my god, oh my god, he's not eating right now. I don't know what to do. What do you suggest that I do?" And I don't know why she asked me, but I thought I could help a little bit. I was like, "Do what makes you happy." That's what I told her. Do what makes you happy. Don't let him make the decision for you. I threw that in, but do what makes you happy. All right. They got something called, let's see, some like a abuse syndrome or something like that. Battered woman syndrome. That's what they call it. Battered woman syndrome. But it's basically gaslighting. Basically believing that he's going to change or this is going to stop, or if she behaved a little bit better, second guessing, blah, blah, blah. So, in saying that, do you think she stayed away from him? Did she stay broken up? Did she believe that by her leaving that situation, that it was the best thing for her? Mm, let me just put it like this. It wasn't even 2 days. And the reaction I got like a week later, the treatment I got from her, like she was being real snippy with me. And then all of a sudden she comes out of nowhere and was like, oh, you just think that just because oh, you like me, I was gonna leave him, and I was like, oh shit, hell no, good luck, good fucking luck. Shoot, who am I to tell? Who am I to tell women to stay away from guys like that? That's the mentality I developed. And this was years ago. I was younger. I was like a year older than him, so I would say like well, wait a minute. It happened back in like I would say yeah, about 2005, 2000. No, not even that. Damn, got my years mixed up. Like about 2009, 2010. Yeah, yeah, around there. It's like yeah. I just that sort of thing has severe effects. So with that being said, this harrowing story. I'm just like I just kind of just I don't blame the victim so much, but if you're gonna stand on a train track and a train is coming, I got two choices to make: pull you off, risk getting hit, which no, I ain't gonna do that. Or scream loud as fuck, get your ass off the goddamn track. I'm gonna scream loud as fuck, and if you don't move, so what? But I mean, I didn't give up on humanity. I know there are some great relationships out there, but for that particular young lady, nah, I don't know what happened to her. I mean, I think she's all right. That was years ago. I don't care what happened to him. I don't care how he's doing. I mean, I'm not sitting up here wishing that he's doing bad or anything, but you know, it's just that it's just that's it was a terrible situation. I ain't gonna. It's not gonna make me turn against black men as a whole. It's not gonna ask what's wrong, black men. Because even then, the first fact I gave away was that he was 28 and she was like 15 or 16 when they met. By the time, and when I said she was thick, let me clean that up. She was like 22 years old at the time. So 22, I would never like if she were 15 or 16, I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, she thick," Nah, yeah. She was 22. But what an age difference! I used to I used to think guys that did that kind of thing was weird. Try to get them young. That's some weird shit. So anyway, I'm gonna move on right along with the conversation because yeah, because that was me being tolerant of bullshit. Me and him did look eye to eye one more time, but I just didn't have too much to say to him. It was just it. I wasn't gonna fight him or anything. Oh man, you know. But it's just like, dude, you're ridiculous. I could choose not to be your friend ever again. But I couldn't, couldn't tell her, can't tell people sometimes. Yeah. So how y'all doing out there? Let me look at some of these comments, and then I'm gonna open up the chat. I'm gonna open up the panel. Let's see. What's up, Sir Anthony? Truth is, I know it. See, Judge Dre was going on. Said, Sir Anthony, how thick was she again? Super thick. Yeah, big old booty. Nice little thighs. Nice little shape. But unfortunately, she was just one of those people. But the subject matter for tonight, I got off into kind of a tangent, is the exercise of tolerance. How much you have to deal with as a black man, how we get through day to day lives with all the bullshit that we face, and having to conduct ourselves in a common sense fashion. And as a black man, I do understand what we all go through, but it's how we deal with it that defines us. Our level of strength, our level of capacity to deal with it. And flying off the handle ain't the answer. So let me go ahead and because if you fly off the handle, like if you go on some kind of insane diatribe, if you yell and scream, like just like for the internet, or if you're in real life and someone pisses you off, tried you or whatever. I mean, some people want to make you take a swing at them, but what happens at the end of all that, depending on your state's laws? I'm not telling anyone how to behave. I'm just saying that for every action, there's a reaction. For everything you do out here, might have one or two things, a result or a consequence. I would like to see black men always take the common sense route. You know. Hmm. So okay, so I'll put this. I'll put this in the chat's hands. What other word do you think has been taken slightly out of context? I was talking about gaslighting and how everybody just brings that word up. I understand that simp also is a word that's taken out of context as well. I'll explain that. Basically, people out there people out there telling you that a simp is someone who loves women. That's completely inaccurate. And everybody but you should know by now what the definition of the word simp is. So, but I will say, for what everyone is saying, that's not true. Or anyway, you ever tried to make a point and it was completely invalidated? Like it was just shut down. It would just say, people just basically said like "fuck you" without saying "fuck you." Think about that if it were a place of employment where you were making six figures. Like I'm not talking about $102,000. I'm talking like through like 300, 345. And someone said something very snippy to you. Very, very snippy. You should be on making a salary like that. You should be on a high level in whatever corporation or company you're working for. But there's always someone higher. Think about it. I just saw Meek Mill bunny hop on a video. So I mean, damn. What would if you were making like $350,000 a year and a higher up said some fly ass shit to you, how do you react? Do you just say fuck it, give up the job? This is kind of that, man. I understand. This is kind of that situation that happened in that Dave Chappelle skit when keeping it real goes wrong. What do you do? Do you do you fly off the handle and lose your job, or do you just be like, go to human resources? Nathan Theodore Francis, the alpha beta, masculine dash feminine, high value versus is value. What it mean to be black itself? Well, that's kind of a deep comment. What it means to be black itself? See. And I was speaking to an older individual this weekend, and he was basically telling me that we were called colored up until the basically when James Brown said "say it loud." You know, then that's when we became black. Uh, uh, I, I could see that because when you look at any history book, all the signs would say colored people, no colored people. It's just always the language lingo was colored. So James Brown, according to this older gentleman, is responsible for saying black. He's saying James Brown is responsible for us. Well, uh, yeah. Let me and the Black Panther Party and the black. Is the two kind of correlate. We went from being colored to being black. Yeah, colored is kind of a racist. Like, can you imagine them still calling us colored to this day? I mean, a lot of us have come up with a lot of other terms like melanated, black. But yeah, what it means to be black itself. I will say this. Even though the term does have sort of a funny context, when you say black, as in black people, everyone knows what you're talking about. Period. Everyone knows what you're talking about. Why do you think they say stuff like black woman and black girl magic? Because black means something to certain people. People know exactly what you're talking about. When you see someone, when you say someone of a more of a, I would say browner skin complexion, we have certain features, and most of us don't want to admit it because we're ashamed. We our eyes are more defined than other races. I would say that, and that's not a bad thing. Our eyes are more defined. Our noses are a little wider. Why you want a thin nose anyway? I don't like to talk about lips because that sounds so sus when it comes from a man. But we as a people, we have thicker lips. Cringe. you know, we have broader, we have more pronounced, we have strong. And strong. Especially in the men, we have stronger. More. Masculine features than most. But when you think of a black person, and then with the women, I personally like ebony skinned women. I mean, whatever makes you happy. I'm not saying what you should do, but I mean, the archetype when you hear the word black, you're always going to refer to that ebony brown skinned person with those features. I know brown people they come in Latino, Mexican. They come in some groups in the Middle East, but when you say black person, you know exactly what we're talking about. So that's what it means to be black. And also it connects us to a very heavy experience that happened in this country that people keep trying to deny, but you really can't ignore it at the end of the day, because as long as people that give out the information are still alive, it'll always be there. I mean, we try to do these things like invalidate it. You know, it's like, why y'all still talking about stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? That's some goofy shit that we have to tolerate. Niggas like that. I mean, because it's a part of our history. I understand you want to forget a part where black people were completely vulnerable and subjugated. I mean, but we have to understand the mindset if that's all you were raised to be. You know, and I feel bad for those people. You know, I always think, like, I don't always think about it, but when I think about it, I always think about it and it's like, okay, none of us could tolerate that at all, like in present day, from the start of your life to the end of your life, not seeing one lick of justice, not being treated as human. And a lot of them thought they were doing good. Didn't make the situation any better. But a lot of times people don't think about the mentality. I always believe that when we were in subjugation like that, that within each one of us, a small inkling knew that shit was wrong, but we tolerated it. We tolerated it for survival purposes. A lot of people would say that, you know, they were cowards. You know, you don't know what you'll do if your children were threatened. Your mother was threatened, your grandmother was threatened, you know, and you had no law or no justice. The only thing you could do is do what, you know, do what Harriet Tubman did. Get the fuck out of there with Harriet Tubman, or get out of there some kind of way. If you are not educated a certain way, your mind won't be there. You know, I mean, think about it. A nightmare every day of your life, but you had to find some way to get through it. Songs, being grateful for what you had. Imagine that. Imagine that. Now, let's fast forward to 2021. I was having a conversation with someone on social media. Now, I know people like to invalidate social media. People just say all kinds of dumb shit. I agree. I agree. And okay, this was about Donald Trump being president. This person implied that if Donald Trump was president, he would have took black people back to slavery. I said, why didn't he try this the first 4 years? That was the first thing I asked. The conversation went south after that, to say the least. I just threw it out there. It's like, and then it's like, okay, that was he, and then like, it was like, oh, God, these people. I was like, wow, can you? But say for instance, okay, they tried to reinstitute slavery today. What would black people's level of tolerance be for it? Would we fight? I'm sure a lot of us would. But would all of us do it? Or will we exercise that level of tolerance again? Think about it. If motherfuckers came through armed to the teeth, what are you going to do? Like I said, some of us will fight. But just for the sake of the combo, just for the sake of the combo, many of us would fold. Many of us would look at, you know, what options that we have. One of those options would probably be prayer. Another option could be escape some kind of way. Because, like, to me, that's just like making the land into a prison, you know, taking it out of a building. Because, really, honestly, when you're a prisoner, you're basically a slave. It just makes the whole land a prison. Well, I'm not inciting anything. I'm not suggesting that anyone goes out there and do anything crazy, because the way this little SJW bullshit is out here, they have the right. They feel like they have the right to misinterpret anything. Nathan Theodore Francis. We're free and loose with the accusation self hate. How do you confirm if someone else has self hate? Okay, yeah. Okay, we talk about that. How do you confirm if someone else has self hate? I'll give you an example. Do you remember Sheriff David Clarke of Milwaukee County? All right. Fast forward to today, we got people like Herschel Walker. I wouldn't say people like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is just a man with an opinion. He's someone who's successful, so he can't connect to people who have unfortunate things happen to them. So for a person like Stephen A. Smith, things are just easy to say. But people like Herschel Walker, people like Sheriff David Clarke of Milwaukee County, who I would say physically mistreat their own people through displays in shows of power. Hmm. Hmm. We're free and loose with the accusation, yes. We believe that every black man that dates outside his race is a self hater. We believe that every black man that disagrees with a black woman is a self hater. We're free and loose with the accusation. When you disagree with any large thought process that goes with a group of blacks, say, for instance, like how uh, a lot of people in the media were turning against black people, especially black men, which really black men were really targeted in this, who voted for Donald Trump. Because nobody cared about the 80% of the 80% of black men that voted the other way. No one cared about that. The people who called out this 20% of black men was like, fuck black men. I don't think black men who voted for Trump are self haters. Yeah, but the loosest I ever seen with it is they actually, with that, they pick on black men who date out with that shit. Nobody ever points to the actual self hate. I'll point out I'll give an example of self-hate. It's like when another black man attacks you because of that, I guess that gang shit, that wannabe hood shit, and that I had a hard life shit. Fuck you, nigga. I kill your motherfucking ass. I say that is major self hate, but it's never pointed out as self hate. Never. I don't get it. I don't understand why. Self hate is when these old baby mamas who collect from the government don't want to raise their kids right. An example. When a female tells her son, "You look like your stupid ass daddy," or something like that, your sorry ass father. Talking about demoralizing the dad around the kid constantly, which is wrong. So the kid develops a hatred for I come from a sorry nigga. I'm probably gonna be a sorry nigga. That's a way to implant self hate in any seed. You know, people who've had bad experiences with other blacks, I wouldn't say so much. They're more like people who tell it like it is. But people will, identify them as self haters just because if you point out some of the fucked up behavior that black people do, and especially like with black women, you got to go at it a certain way with black men. You just got to throw away black men. But if you talk about the behavior of black women, you know, they will say that you were picking on them, or you're picking on black women, or you hate black women, or you're a self hater. You hate your mom. Like, I'm talking directly to my mom when I say the stuff about the behavior. No, I'm not. But yeah, that's another way I've observed. So why, Skinner, what's going on?
How's it going, Kev?
Oh shoot, nothing too much, man. Just trying to do the thing. But yeah,
Been on the road?
been on the road. Yeah, I was on the road today. I was on the road like maybe 6-7 hours. I I just got in, hour and a half ago. Just try to tie up loose ends from being out of town, and just got on did this show. But yeah, man, the show must go on, man. That's just
Yeah.
for the people. So yeah, man. Yeah, self hate. So, self hate, I would say, yeah, that is a term that is very loosely used and is weaponized against, and especially black men who are critical thinkers, who think outside the box, who tell the truth, who are brutally honest, who don't mind stepping on a few feelings just to get factual information out there. We are gaslighted, as I said earlier. That we use the term gaslighting. We're gaslighted into believing that we are self haters, and that is some bullshit that we have to tolerate. If you, yeah,
Okay. Hmm. If I'm
yeah,
telling the truth, I'm telling one of these women the truth about something.
yeah,
And
and in a lot of cases, not like a lot of cases, some of these dudes too. Some of these dudes be acting like bitches out here. Just
yeah,
because,
man.
just because you're thinking outside of what they're thinking. Hey, you know what? It's not that, and it doesn't even have to be on some. I disagree with you, boo. Like I just, I just disagree just to disagree. It's just like, look, there's just a better idea. It might be another idea. Your shit might work, but this might be a more expeditious way. And even then, I could be wrong. But the thing is, people do is they want to fly off the handle once
Yeah,
that disagreement happens.
yeah,
It's the first case scenario. It's never the final case scenario. For me, it should always be the final case scenario, just to cuss a bitch out or cuss a nigga out or something
yeah.
like that. It should never be the first case. You should always think critically on the first case, and You be the ruthless nice guy. The ruthless nice guy has a very high level of tolerance because it's just it's some cut off shit. Okay, I don't have to kill you, but I can more or less say fuck you anyway. So
I've been listening to some channels with some guys, man. They, I mean, they worse than women, man. I mean, they get loud. And it just get to where it's disrespectful to one another. And I don't want to stay on. I don't want to stay on there watching the channel very long. When it gets like that, I'm pretty much gone. And I don't know if it's just the seem to be the young guys that's doing that, but I just go on somewhere else.
well,
And
I'm not.
I know some of the 2 or 3 of them that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And
they,
they lose it. They lose it, man.
yeah, they lose it, but at the same time, um, they is age ranges. I would say men around your age, maybe one kind of goes off into a little space, but the yelling back and forth and all that,
Yeah.
some of that comes from guys in my age group. That's where they came with the whole old nigga thing from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some like I'm 44. So,
Okay.
I do believe that you should conduct yourself a certain way if you're a grown man. So I carry myself like that, especially on this platform. I don't think it's productive for me to scream, and go down the alphabet list of cuss words, you know,
Yeah.
and just because you wouldn't see things my way is an inevitable fact that there are going to be some people that's not going to see things your way. So I was listening to a broadcast earlier and they were talking about an incident. I'm not going to say any names, but I heard one of the guys start like bringing the guy's grandmother into it. Like, kind of a fuck your grandma thing. Now, what does grandma,
Man.
what does grandma have to do with anything, man? Like, come on. They be like, these dudes be want to talk about kids. They be want to talk about significant others. And
What?
yeah, I mean, all that stuff, man, all that stuff. I don't know, like you say, if you watch certain channels, like, but uh, myself, and Roger, I mean, Roger can speak for himself. Donnie, all that ratchet shit. I mean,
Yeah.
Donnie is a little bit crazy though. Not crazy, but things can get a little crazier over there. But it ain't gonna be no yelling and cursing and acting like weave heads and shit, or spastic ass dudes.
Roger has had to get his under control a few times. It had kind of got bad, and but Roger has kind of gotten his under control now. Because I mean, he got to where he's disrespecting him. So
Roger uses a huge level of diplomacy. It's rare when he gets loud. It's rare. I will say that.
yeah, for him,
So
to my him just himself.
yeah. So if Roger gets loud, that means something. That means something happened for real. But yeah, we live and we learn. We try to exercise a certain level of courtesy by letting people on. But it's like we don't want the nigga shit. I mean, I know I don't. I don't want nigga shit over here. I mean, I don't want nobody. Hey, okay. Let me go ahead and refer to the Facebook group.
Okay.
The Facebook group I had, Black Men Being Brutally Honest with Everyone. It's currently in the archive state, but I had to have a certain amount of rules, certain rules, in order for it to function properly and without such a negative stigma. It gained a negative stigma anyway. If you say anything, black men, something, anything, is gonna have pushback and it's gonna have a negative stigma. But I carried the group with I carried the group with certain rules because you have to regulate full grown adults in an unchained environment. I would say don't talk about anyone's kids.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're 18 and above, you got free range. But I'm talking about like preteens, like younger kids, because that's just you being a jerk. At the end of the day, I didn't allow that. You were immediately booted from the group if you did it. You can't be listing people's personal information. You can't dox people. If you dox someone, you were immediately booted. If you just were super disrespectful and you just kept going and going and going, yeah, the decision would have to be made because then you're being disruptive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you come at me all day though. Just don't break any of the rules. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't break the rules. At toward the end, I just started kicking my. I just started saying fuck it because people they were on that same bullshit. I'm like, okay, 1 year bullshit, cool. 2 years of bullshit, okay.
Yeah.
3 years of bullshit, fuck y'all, fuck you.
Wow.
I mean, like it got like that because it was like my cup had runneth over by then. People didn't like the place. people didn't like the place because it was like it was a space for black men and black women to equally go back and forth. It was, but black people aren't satisfied with that. They want it to be one sided. They want to be one sided. They want the women to be able to do what they want, and the man you just kind of put up with it, and that's what defines you as a man in their eyes. Your ability and your level of tolerance to put up with whatever. But I had to set boundaries with people. Don't dox. Don't talk about people's kids. Don't talk about people's dead relatives. Those were serious rules. Don't refer to any black person in here as an ape or any kind of primate. I mean, especially don't chop people's faces off their bodies on pictures and put them on monkeys. Don't do that because you're out of here with that too. I had to tell full grown adults not to do shit like that. Oh yeah, and one of my and one of my favorite rules: don't be spamming the groups. Don't be spamming the group with pics of gay dudes and having gay videos and shit like that.
So Facebook was a little different.
Yeah, I mean, back in 2017, the group was temporarily deactivated because some girl decided to post a pic of two dudes having sex, basically.
Oh man!
So I took it down and threw out the group. She reported the group from another profile, and it was a collective effort, from what I understand, because I got 2 messages afterwards with screenshots and shit. Oh no, I woke up one morning and the group was deactivated. They had deactivated the group temporarily. Go ahead and delete whatever post you can, and delete whatever post you can, and have us review it. So that's what happened. Myself and the admin, we went through the group deleting posts, and they reactivated the group. But before that, I got a lot of screenshots. Saying that, some dudes, actually an alphabet dude, he inboxed me. Yeah, I got your group chat there. I got your group chat. Ha ha. Because he showed me the screenshot with Facebook, like we deactivated the group. Your identity is anonymous, but he wanted me to know that he was the one responsible. And then I told him, look, man, the group is back up. Don't message me again. Blocked them just like that. See, I just blocked them from the messages. I was like, look, man, I don't want nobody inboxing me with no bullshit. Because it's like when you give black men a forum to tell the truth, every fucking body will attack it. And the group grew so fast.
Really?
Yeah, and then after the deactivation, after the deactivation, reactivation, I had to carry the group a certain way still. I didn't let it get too far out of control. But the group wasn't really the same after that.
What?
People started making knockoffs, and they people who I had kicked out for breaking rules, they went to those knockoffs and shitted on me and whatever that. But
Oh
it's
man.
like, you have to use my name, so I'm actually shitting on you. I'm your daddy, bitch. Well, you ain't got no creativity. That's how I felt about it. So, hey, you know what? Here's one place, like, I would say any of them stupid motherfuckers, when they be able to match me in his YouTube, I've invited them up to YouTube to tell me what's going on and say what's on their mind. And, if you got shit you want to tell me, that we can discuss it publicly or whatever. But they decline. They want to stay on Facebook. They want to type their little snarky comments. They want to do their little doxing and shit like that. They want to talk about people's kids. They want to talk about people's dead parents, dead grandparents. I mean, in one case, dead children. I was like, okay, fuck you. You're out of here too. But guess what? That's not the version that everyone is getting.
So is that what brought you to YouTube?
That is exactly what brought me to YouTube. The fact that I wanted the vision of what I wanted for the group itself expressed on YouTube. Discussion of news stories and subject matter that affect black people, and especially black men, every day of our lives. Instead, motherfuckers want to be idiots and troll and be like, oh my god, you made a group to bash black women, because when you answer black women's disrespect, you're bashing them.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it, because one thing I found out about, like, certain women, is they don't like for not to be in control of something, not to be in control of a man, to a certain extent. And any man, that's why they put that protection narrative out there, that they're not being protected because some random dude won't save them from themselves.
Oh man.
Yeah, so like, that's a level of control they're trying to get with us, that protect black women. And I mean, I feel like we protect black women enough. As long no, for real. I'm not being just smug.
Yeah.
I mean, we protect
Yeah.
black women enough as long as they let us know. I mean, you're not going to get far letting another woman know. You gotta let the dudes know so it can be expeditious and effective. But that's the problem. They don't tell us when things happen to them. They go to a female, and then the female, don't do shit but stir up a fucking mess.
Yeah. Make it worse.
Yeah, but getting back to the group, man, it was just like, there's just people still mad at me today, like on Facebook, on YouTube. I haven't heard it lately. When I first came up here, your group, like, I would go in a certain set, and I would type a comment, and I would get timed out in the chat. Or if I disagreed, I was called out by the people on the broadcast. Your group.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people in this space were in their group, like the content creators. I'm not going to name them now. I've named them on other broadcasts. I'm not going to name them now. I'm not going to give them any shine.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm sick of a lot of them motherfuckers anyway. Like, I mean, I could have been a catalyst as to why they're here. But, there's too much creativity to make such an outrageous claim. But the mentality that group started, and one of my moderators, Stoic One, can confirm it for you. I mean, he may not be here now, but if he were listening, he could confirm it for you. I was it. It's like there was no other place like it in its height, and I just wanted to bring that mentality here. Like, I didn't want it to go to waste. If we, as in myself and the admin, could grow a group like that,
Mm-hmm.
and with it being my group, I would say under my direction, let me take that same kind of mind state and bring it to YouTube and see what happens. And I mean, one thing I discovered was that YouTube is a very different beast, because despite the fact that at the time I had 29,000 people in that group,
Wow.
only a very small number wanted to subscribe to the channel. I mean, honestly, outside of some Facebook posts, I'm not a media personality. So, what reason would they have to sign up anyway? And I mean, face it, 29K is just a number. 29K is just a number. Yeah, I would have at any given time at least 2,000 engaged at the same time. But that number had dropped like a rock, as time went on. Because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna suck up, I'm not gonna simp, I'm not gonna kiss ass. I'm kind of a person that tells it like it is. I'm not gonna use terminology like my truth. But if I believe something is right or wrong, I'm going to express it. I don't care what it does to your feelings. That's just me. Like, man, people need to get out of this whole being babied mentality. They need to get out of it, because the same people that want to be babied and coddled are the biggest assholes other places.
Yeah.
They act like they're fucking angels. Some people act like they're so high and mighty and perfect. It's like, no, man, you ain't gonna slide with that with me. Sorry. You're gonna have to be a little honest. And because of your irrational logic, I have to be brutally honest with you. 2 + 2 = 4, not 22.
Now, where does a moderator come from?
Well, okay, yeah. There, anytime you're in a chat and you see names in blue with a blue wrench by it, just with YouTube terminology, well, YouTube context, that's a moderator. Those are profiles of people who are assigned to help take care of the channel from malicious comments, basically. Comments that might get the video flagged. That's what they should be doing, And so far, everyone I've assigned as a moderator has not abused their wrench.
So you assigned them?
Yes, I make. Yeah, of course, if you own the channel, you make the final decision of the channel owner is the one that makes that decision. And and with me, as long as you're balanced and you don't abuse it, and I mean, like, I'm not saying that I can tell the difference between trolling and disrespect. So if I time out myself, that means that it's really, really serious. And that is an example that I would like the moderators that I assign to follow. Just like, if you have to time out someone, it is dead fucking serious. Trolls, trolls, as long as they don't get malicious, like I said, and disrespectful. Like, if someone come in here and say, hey, fuck that nigga Kev, is like, I would probably want you to leave that one to me. If it stays up on the screen and I haven't timed it out, it's one of two things. Either I haven't caught it, or I've decided to let that person live. Yeah. I mean, but if anyone else on my panels get disrespected, like, in a horrible way, I mean, I'm not talking about disagreement.
Yeah.
I'm talking about disrespect. Actual disrespect. Time that motherfucker out. Time that motherfucker out. Make it a big decision. Make it a big decision. Like, just to say it. Don't make it like, okay, like, I hate to pick on you, Sir Anthony, but it's like, it's like, if someone say, hey, Sir Anthony, man, I like blue suits, man. I think they better than black suits. And then Sir Anthony said, no, man, you're wrong. I think that black suits are better than blue suits. It's then if it's like that, then Sir Anthony times dude out. Nah, don't do that. I mean, that's something small. That's just a small example.
That's a small thing.
Yeah, that's a small example. But if he's like, man, if he says something like, hey, Sir Anthony, go fuck your mother, bitch, time that motherfucker out. Have it. Hide him from the channel even. You know what I'm saying? All right, see, as
Uh-huh.
moderators, that's going to be your privilege. Don't. If someone just like is blatant with it, but okay. But if I ever see Marco Leonards again, I already told y'all one time that don't time that dude out. He's just trolling. So if I ever see that dude again, then I already told you, it is what it is. Whatever I decide to do with that person, I was like, Marco Leonards was kind of funny. It's like, shit, this allow somebody to push back on you as long as they don't do stupid gaslighting and don't be like, oh man, black men, y'all failed and all this other crap and what the fuck are you doing? Like I also try to exercise a high amount of tolerance toward women, toward females.
Like
You know,
I was going to
y'all,
ask you too. One
but
other thing. Like this is not a super chat that's up on the screen now. So is that not paid for? Because I see
no, that's
these
not
a
that.
lot.
No, that's it. That's just any comment that I decide to highlight, and I
Oh,
sometimes look away from the screen.
you have to do
Yeah,
that
so
yourself.
yeah, I can highlight comments. So,
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah, and I look away from the screen, so they kind of stay up there for a while. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so shout out to Absalom Pianki. Good to see you once again, sir. But yeah, super chats are basically when someone in your viewing audience decides to donate.
Right. Right. I've done that before. Yeah, the
Yeah,
super chat. I was wondering about these because I didn't see no money value on
no. Super chats aren't automatically highlighted. You have to highlight them just like any other comment.
it. Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, if
But
that's
you have control of like this that's up right now. You have
yeah,
control.
I control that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
But yeah, this tolerance thing, man. I mean, some of these guys, man, they go to cursing and get loud and meet me. I'll meet you in the alley and I'll mess you up. And I'm like, man. And I just leave. Sometimes it gets so bad, I just leave. I just leave the channel.
it's like if I wanted nigga shit, I'll refer to one of my younger memories. Like, I mean, like I'm just saying, when you reach a certain age, your maturity should have crossed over, man. If you know you're not going to sit
Yeah.
there and actually buy that plane ticket and actually confront this person, and this person is okay with it, which they probably won't be. Like just cut the crazy shit. Like when you win some, you lose some.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, but I don't know, structured convo. That's the way to go. No, Will, I want to. I don't like to demoralize black men by using female references, but I just don't want us to catch ourselves acting like Real Housewives. Like it's just, I've tolerated watching that, because I have a wife. A few, a few times. That was just when we had like. That was just when we just had one TV. But we got. I don't have to watch shit that die. So, I mean, but when we had just one TV, um, I watched quite a few episodes of Real Housewives, and
I ain't
it's
never
like
been able to tolerate that.
I mean I couldn't like, and it was just like they just be yelling back and forth. It just is crazy, and people like that shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, and then like my wife get tired of me telling her like, look, this is some bullshit right here. Why they acting like this? I mean, it's just like when you watch WWE. I'm like, no, it's not like when I watch WWE. I mean, one thing that I had a big problem with is if it's scripted, they need to stop calling it Real Housewives, and then they ain't married. I mean, but that's just me being logical. That's just me being logical. I mean, but all that yelling and bickering, I do this, fuck you, this, fuck you, that.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
tell your darkest secret, this, bitch, 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 bitch. That I get it when you say that's female like.
yeah. Well, that's acting. That's not no real. People think that stuff is real. Some people, but they acting.
Okay, all right. We got two arrivals. We got BGS and we got PK Angel. So, what up, BGS? How you doing?
Hey, Kev, what's going on?
Okay, yeah. Like I said, thanks for coming through, guys. Um, yeah, this subject matter is the exercise of tolerance. The level of tolerance that we have to go through as black men every day to get from day to day life. A lot of the bullshit that we have to deal with, and not to talk so much in a victimhood sense, but just it is what it is.
Well,
And,
yeah, we know social media is a different place
Yeah.
because you can the distance and sometimes you being slightly anonymous, you can be who you really are, and a lot of these people are that's what they really like inside, but they can't let it out. They have to have some kind of decorum and some kind of manners, in the real world.
Oh yeah, they have to.
Yeah,
They come here to do that.
they come here to do that. Now, I'm gonna let my dark side out on the internet, be my real self.
yeah,
Yeah,
Sure.
people
go ahead,
say
Kev.
that, but
Mm.
like I like to be. I said people say that, but I like to be this way, kind of like in multiple places besides social media. Kind of my own little
Mm.
experiment with life, just to see how people react, and it's usually not a very positive reaction.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when
Well,
you speak like this.
yeah. Well, most people. Well, some people are the same, no matter whether it's real life or it's you know um, online, but most people aren't. Now that goes all the way back to AOL in the early '90s. People would say things online they wouldn't say face to face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You develop some courage.
What they call them, keyboard warriors.
Yeah, keyboard warriors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
real easy to develop that sort of courage when there's no physical or
yeah,
real ramifications for any of the shit you talk. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Even socially, because most people are like individuals. They don't know what your social circle is, or where you work, or the
Yeah,
friends you have outside of being online. So there's really no repercussions.
yeah, yeah. I still have an AOL email.
Some people do. I'm surprised that it's still around.
Some guy was telling me I was getting my TV repaired. He was telling me, man, you might be able to sell that email. I'm like, sell
Possibly.
no, that sounds crazy to me, but
Yeah, well, they don't have any more of them. So if you have an AOL email, they don't make any more. That's for sure.
wow, that's the very first one I ever had. And I just never, gotten another one.
Oh, you never deleted it. You
Uh,
keep using it, huh?
I just keep using it. Yeah.
Well, it's on a server somewhere. So I forget who bought them, but it's on a server somewhere. Yeah, but a lot of this stuff really didn't start this bickering. For the most part, didn't start until the live streaming, and then the live streaming where it started to make money. As soon as they put that super chat button, whew,
Wow.
I think
Wow.
in 2016, I think it was. They put the super chat button.
Oh, it's not that old.
No, no, the super chat was to keep people from going to because they were taking back some people's AdSense and or not putting commercials on. It used to be you had ads on your video, and that's how people would make money. And then the people that were making money, they started cutting back on the AdSense, but they on the live streams they gave you a super chat button, and that would keep you from going to other places like Streamlabs. Google wants its money, so they're trying to keep their money as much as they can. So,
Well, I mean,
but
prior to Google getting involved with YouTube, they weren't even profitable. Or excuse me, vice versa. YouTube wasn't profitable at first.
no,
Um, so what was going on initially, to my knowledge, is like you said, you know, you did have those little spats, but most of the time people were able to get their money out of it. But nowadays, people are doing a lot more with money in mind. So, yeah,
And
definitely.
that's where the beefs come in. That's where I have to be right to protect my reputation and all that kind of stuff comes in, because that's when and that's when you have more people coming onto that normally wouldn't mix on the streams. Because I was one of the first ones to actually have open live streams. Very and people thought I was crazy because why would you? Because you're gonna have trolls, you're gonna have this kind of stuff like that. But I said, the hell with it. If they're my subs, they show up. I put the link in for anybody to come up. I was one of the few people that actually do that back in 2015.
Yeah.
And when it started making money, then everybody started doing it.
But does
Yeah,
that
so
money?
you're the original bad guy.
Yeah. So does that money go straight to your account, or does that go to? Yeah.
It goes it goes to YouTube, and then YouTube take its cut, and then you
Oh.
get it through AdSense. So your AdSense account is where all this stuff is actually filtered through.
So what percentage does YouTube get on a super chat?
30%.
30.
30%.
Well, Kev knows it.
30%. 30%.
30%.
But it's a way to legitimize you in their eyes. If you can make them a little money while
Yeah.
you take up all their server space with your broadcast. So
Yeah, even Donovan Sharp said the same thing. The reason he has his AdSense on, and commercials on is because it incentivizes YouTube to keep your channel up, not take it because you're making the money.
But not only that, I think you get a larger percentage of the revenue if you get your money through AdSense versus through Super Chat. I could be wrong, but I
No,
thought it was a
same.
higher percentage.
No, it's the same thing.
Oh,
Exactly
okay.
the same thing. YouTube, I think YouTube might take more money from your AdSense, from your ads, than they do from Super Chat.
But
Oh,
you
okay.
get the Cash App. That's all yours, isn't it?
That's all yours.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's why that's why normally if I'm modding for people, I push the Cash App before I push the Super Chat.
yeah, Cash App is direct money. They get
It's
it right
direct
then
money.
and there.
You get it immediately. Yeah, instead of waiting a month and a half.
Yeah, I knew that portion of it. I just didn't know the relationship in between how their ads work versus the Super Chat button.
Ads is almost like a black box. There's a secret mojo how they do the ads. The number of ads, who actually sponsors the ads. Because it's different. So what each advertiser will pay, the number of subs that you have, your traffic, all kind of engagement, all kinds of stuff. So there's a secret sauce that he used to actually pay you as far as ads are concerned. Because sometimes I can get a video that has like 20,000 views, right? And it'll pay, and you look at it, see what it paid. It'll pay $6, right? And I'll get another video that has like 6,000 views, and it'll pay 45. So there's a certain kind of, there's some secret sauce that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I
So
think
it's not straightforward.
I think I know that a lot of channels do third-party ads, and then I know they get more of the cut when they do third-party ads versus when they run it directly through AdSense. Now, I don't know how people set that up. I think it's a prearranged agreement, where they go behind the scenes and, work out the numbers. But for the most part, the people that get their money through AdSense obviously get that cut over the top that goes directly to Google.
And normally either it'll be for a certain amount of time or per video. Say like if you're sponsored, and then the person knows you get a certain amount of traffic, and you sponsor an ad, and they get a certain amount of traffic, then they pay you like a flat fee. So either per for a specific amount of time or per video. Obviously the bigger you are, the more traffic you get. I think then there's like a per video thing. Okay, I'm gonna put you on for so many videos. Like for promotional, most of the time I give it away for free. Somebody I think is deserving of it, I just throw one of their ads up just to support them, instead of giving them money and said, okay, I'm just gonna give you views.
For sure. I mean, can be a larger route anyway. So I agree.
Yeah, well, sometimes I mean, even with Kevin and Habitual Line Steppers with Roger, instead of giving them straight money, I just give them views. So I give them exposure. So
Now,
Yeah,
when
go ahead.
long term, that's much better
Mm-hmm.
because it gets you more in the algorithm and it gets more eyes on your stuff.
Yeah.
So you can grow to the point where the ad revenue will count. So I
Yeah.
totally get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is just that in the long run is just as valuable as getting a super chat. Although it's hard to argue with some of the higher super chats.
Yeah, somebody gives you $100. That's $100.
Yeah, $100, $100. Yeah.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't get 30% of that $100.
Oh yeah, if a super
Yeah.
chat, they get 30% of everything. Trust and believe.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, but
you are YouTube's hoe, and the pimp wants his money.
Yeah, but $100 is a threshold to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're under $100, you don't get paid.
Oh
So,
yeah, before you get your AdSense, yeah.
Yeah, but right, I'll just say this: I do appreciate BGS, and his support of the channel. So, know what I'm saying. So we do appreciate that.
Yeah.
BGS has a much larger channel than us, and he has the experience and the know-how. So an an endorsement from him means something. So
Well, so they tell me. Sometimes I don't know.
yeah, I mean, with that kind of position, you're always gonna run into some opposition, of course. That just goes with territory. So, I mean, we would probably myself, Roger, and the other habitual line steppers, we're probably know what that's like one day at some certain degree or some level.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope people that get larger actually pay it forward, and see somebody that's smaller that has good content that just needs a little boost, needs some eyeballs, and I hope that people actually go back and pay it forward.
Yeah, definitely, and I do use my community tab for certain content creators, and I do if they need to get to 1K, I was like I'll put on help them get to 1K type deal.
Yeah, so you get over the threshold. Yep.
Yeah, but I do that because I want to see I want to see a lot of people successful doing this. The better this space is, the better off it is for all of us.
Yeah, because I think that's back 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago, it was easier because there were so few. There's only so many content creators like that were of note. So if you hit them, then the space would kind of fall apart. But so we made a decision, kind of spread this out. So I mean, you can say if somebody hit my channel, okay, fine. You hit my channel, it's down. I start a new channel. All I have to do is put out the word to the 15, 20, maybe even 30 content creators and say, hey man, I got a new channel. Could you spread the word? And within within 90 days, you're not where you were, but things grew back up to speed. I think that happened to Roger, and he got a strike on his channel, and he couldn't live stream. So, and he had to make a new channel. So basically, all we did was spread the word and said, okay, Roger's over here. So the people that already rock with him know where to find him, because the easiest thing in YouTube is get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do understand that, and it would suck if someone would like to work hard to build a channel just taken away, and they have to start all the way over. I mean,
it kind of discourages people from flagging your channel, because every time you flag a channel, they pop back up anyway, and it discourages YouTube from trying to put strikes on your channel, because it doesn't do very much good. Because within, like, when Roger's probably not where he was, but the thing is, Roger's probably back up to speed. I think they even took the strikes off of the limitation off his original channel.
Yeah,
because his third channel did so well.
Oh, okay. So so YouTube knows when
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a list. Because I think the Roger report was limited for like damn near a year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a year. I mean, he could do uploads if he wanted to, but he couldn't do any lives.
He couldn't do lives. And when the third channel got up to a certain point, they said just forget it, just open up his stuff and leave him alone. So pretty much they left him alone.
Yeah, and I think he's supposed to get live back at a certain point.
I think sometime this month for his second channel, supposed to get his lives back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Roger he's in prime position to just he's submitted. I would say
Hmm.
he's submitted, so he in prime position to survive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, I
game, but
noticed he had like three channels.
yeah. Well, he had to because they hit his first channel, so he had to make a second one, and then they hit a second channel, so he had to, he probably already had it. He had to, basically open up his third one. So this time, um,
So
what we did for the third one, we said, okay. Well, actually, the second one, his second one got bigger than his first one because everybody, it put the word out that he's over here doing live. So his second channel got bigger than his first one, and then they hit that one, and then he had a third one, and that started to get almost as big as the second one. At that point, YouTube said, "Forget it, just unban him and leave him alone." So
was it just simple mistakes, or was it something
it
serious to
it
get
could
banned
be.
like that?
The thing is, nobody really knows exactly what it is because he got hit for copyright when he doesn't play copyrighted material. So that's YouTube using an excuse to do, you know, um, try to stop unfavorable channels, which they will do from time to time. But the thing is if the community has enough, he has enough support from the community, then um, as long as they don't hit his IP, he could start, 4, 5, 6, 7 channels, and the same thing would happen. So at some point, YouTube says, you know what, even if we hit this channel, he's just going to make another one, and in 2 months he's going to be back where he was. So it doesn't make sense to keep doing
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's no effective way to stop people from live streaming really. If a person is really persistent, like so
Yeah.
for
yeah,
instance Roger,
Mhm.
there's no real effective way to stop him from live streaming unless they wouldn't be, even if they IP ban him, that wouldn't be enough because if he was really persistent, you could get around that as well.
You can get
You
around
know,
that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
so
really.
yeah.
But for them to IP ban you, they really have to have a real good reason. Like, you really have to have done something. I mean, really something. I mean, persistently have to have done something to get IP banned.
And they would
And
that 9 times out of 10 they would just kill your Google account. That's what they would do first. Now
yeah.
that Google is embedded with YouTube, so I mean, outside a lot of times in the past, what people used to do to avoid this type of
Oh
shenanigans is
yeah, we can
Yeah,
make several of them.
yeah,
yeah,
you'd make several, so you join what was called a group or a YouTube group, and they would you would have essentially a collective group of people as well
mhm,
as representation through legal means to go and essentially bargain YouTube and be like, hey, dog, you banned my channel. We're a part of this group. If you keep it up, we're gonna send our lawyers your way, and they would, send different letters, et cetera, through the YouTube channels.
so
And
it's
also
really
nowadays, like larger content creators
uh,
have YouTube representation that actually actively watches their channel. So a person that has, I think the threshold back in the mid 2000s, or it's not mid 2000s, but yeah, mid 2000s was about I think it was a couple 100,000 people. You would get YouTube representation, and what that means is you would have a person that actually works at YouTube would look into certain aspects of your channel
mhm.
and check on copyright strikes and that type of thing. But these days, it's pretty much limited to upper echelons of YouTube. I mean, they don't have as many people. They're not interested in mediating a lot of the bullshit that happens these days. They've
Mhm,
yeah, there's a lot of different stuff going on there. So
mhm. It's kind of hard just to really be banned. Is that
The only 100% effective way to get banned is if you give up completely yourself. If you
Yeah.
decide to walk away
walk away?
completely,
Mhm.
that's
Okay,
the only way to
yeah,
truly get banned.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Say if you got a big channel but you don't have any community support with other content creators or whatnot, then if they hit your channel, you have to start over from scratch. That's tough. So every time they hit you, got to start from scratch and take you 6 months to a year to get some kind of reasonable channel. That's tough. But if if you have a lot of community support with other content creators,
Mhm.
like Roger was within a couple of weeks, Roger was pretty much back to the same numbers he was doing. You know, he didn't have the subs, but he had as far as engagement, he was pretty almost back to where he was within a couple of weeks.
Now, how
So
important is the subs?
They're
the
very
subs,
important.
the subs are well, number one. The subs determine how much how the algorithm works for you. Number one, number two, if you do have AdSense or any kind of commercials on it, the higher your sub count, the more you will get paid per view. So your sub count is important.
Okay.
And then for certain people, it gives you more clout.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's easier to gravitate toward a person with 500,000 subs than one with 50.
Yeah, yeah. What
Yeah.
YouTube
Somebody
has
look at it. And they look at it.
YouTube has to like you for you to get that big. Okay, they have to kind of let you and not shadow ban you because to get that big, you have to be in their favor.
Yeah, and I don't think I've done anything too extreme. I don't think, but I do think that eyes are on me, so I have to conduct myself a certain way. But also, you have to be consistent as well, right? If you're gonna do live streams, you have to pick a certain time per week to do them.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, just that, and that is to fight shadow ban in itself. If I'm not correct, if the same crowd knows that you're going to go on the same time every week, they're going to be there.
They'll look for you. Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody can't be like BGS, just go on anytime. A lot of folks just gonna be there.
So you just can't go on when you want to.
You can go on when you want to. YouTube is 24/7. You can upload when you want to. YouTube is 24/7, but it's better for the algorithm if you do all of it at the same time.
Yeah, and you have a regular you have regular subs that will come back and look for you at the same time every day, and they will get disappointed if you're not on. Say like if Roger skipped a day, and people know that to look for his stream at I think it's like 9:30 at his time or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's not on. He's not on. People say, "Okay, Roger, where are you?" Because you're supposed to be on and you're not. That's when you know you have dedicated subs. When people actually ask you, "Where are you?"
Right.
But the thing is, it's just like a TV program. At certain time, every day or once a week that you're going to be on at this time. So, I mean, I used to have that on Saturdays.
So definitely. So it's about to a certain extent hitting the algorithm the right way if you're trying to gather new people, and also hitting the algorithm in a sense that it notifies your existing members to come in and be repeated watchers.
Right.
So,
or people just know to look for you at a certain time. So even if your notifications don't go out, they will look for you.
Yep.
Well, I notice it's very few people that's on every day.
Yeah.
Very few.
I wouldn't be one of those people not doing lives every day.
So you got to be pretty good.
So Roger doing it is a testament to him.
Yeah, he's 5 days a week. Yeah.
You have to have a very potent message and very different. You have to be creative. I'll say that. You have to be extremely creative
and dedicated, because it's not easy to get your juices up to go on every day at the same time.
Yeah. I know from personal experience.
Yes, YouTube is a grind, man. So you
got to be able to talk.
Well, you got to be able to talk, but the thing is, you got to be had a discipline to show up at the same time every day, and most people don't have that.
But you have to have discipline, the lifestyle,
and some people
all
work
types of things.
Yeah. Let me put it to you like this: Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday nights, they are prime nights, for activity and such. And I know one Saturday night or Friday night, sometime in the future or whatever, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to not do a broadcast, but it's like I felt like I picked some tough nights, but there were some okay. Yeah, there's some good nights for me. It's like I'm not the party kind of person. I don't have to go party, get drunk, and all the other shit. So
I noticed you on the weekend.
But here's the thing: you have to like it. You have to like doing it. You have to. It's a passion, like any other passion. You have to have a passion for it. Roger has a huge passion for it.
You just gotta avoid. You gotta be careful with that, man. Because I know, for instance, with me, right? years ago. This is years ago now. I was in my teens when I did this. I was a Twitch streamer many years ago. You know, I got up to a couple 100,000 people that
Oh,
used to watch me at a given
oh,
time.
on Twitch. Okay,
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
and back then, you know, I had a great passion for it. This is, you know, I had real life issues and things of that nature, of course, just like everyone else does. But to a certain extent, that passion, what happens is if you keep doing something so often, you'll start to
Right.
burn yourself out slowly. You know, it happens slowly and over time. You know, so it doesn't
Uh-huh.
happen all at once. But if you keep a consistent schedule like that, you know,
Yeah.
that burnout will eventually set in if you're not extremely interested in it. And that's like, passion only goes so far. You know, you have to really grow to love what you're doing because
Yeah. Yeah.
eventually it will become to feel like a job, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I noticed. Seem like most people is like maybe 3 days a week, maybe 2 days a week, something like that. Uh, some of these guys are pretty good. It seems as though they was into journalism before they even got here, unless they uh, just got better as by doing it.
Sometimes it just takes having a personality.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, you have to have that just to draw attention. You have to have a personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm sorry to say, with anything, a lot of people that are in this space aren't cut out for it. I'm not gonna say any names or anything like that, but you can
Mm.
tell by the way their viewership is, and not just by the way their viewership is, actually listening to them.
Right.
It's,
Right.
because it is like, ugh, you know. But it's like I don't focus too much on that. What I do mostly is focus on how I can improve for myself. You know,
Hmm.
this is just something that I've like to do right now. Is it like every show has its own little thing about it, and yeah, PK Angel, I keep that in mind. You know, when you have to have the discipline itself, that's probably the toughest part, having the discipline to go on the same time every week. You know, especially like 3 days, especially 5 days, because guys like Roger and Bernard Riley, damn.
Yeah,
But
you gotta make a what I did was is and this is just me. I used to stream every day at a certain time after school. You know, I'd get home, boot up my stream, start up a game, you know, go for probably about 5 hours, and then, you know, hop off, do the same thing every day. You know, did that for the better part of a year and a half, you know, and I changed the schedule up and, you know, you lose viewership that way. You're not a lot, but you take a hit. So you're going to get new people in, but that's more of a consistent stream. That isn't something that happens all at once unless you have other people that are like unless you're a part of a stream team or you have other content creators that support you as well. You know, there are certain ways that you can cheat the system, but for the most part, it's a consistent trickle, right? You don't generally see a large spike unless the algorithm is pushing you or you get featured, so to speak. So you want to get a consistent schedule, um, same time, same place, same thing,
Mhm.
new message, new content.
Yeah.
one thing I do notice though is that sometimes it doesn't matter if you have a large number of subs, depending on how your live stream viewership go. Because I've seen Roger on the Roger Report 3 pull in 150 without being put in anyone's community tab. I
Hmm.
mean, it took that kind of exposure, but at the end of the day, it's up to the people to show up for you. And you know, some people like I'm not. There's a couple of uh, people in this space that have 12,000, 13,000, sometimes 15, sometimes 20.
Hmm.
Like they can't get out of double digits. And
Hmm.
that's no knock to them. I'm not saying that their content is bad, but it's like if you can be under 1,000 subs and you can get 150 people to watch you on a consistent basis, you're
Hmm.
doing something correct.
Hmm.
And maybe you're doing it more correct than the person that has 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 that can't get but 20 or
Oh.
30 people to watch them.
We got to
You
remember.
know,
Got to remember,
go ahead.
YouTube is not just live stream; it's also pre-recorded.
Right.
So, and sometimes you might not do live streams well, but your pre-recordeds are on point, and that's what people sub to you for. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
two different things.
I do understand the pre-record thing, but
Mm,
there are a couple of channels that just kind of do live streams. Live
mm,
stream after live stream after live stream after live stream after live
mm,
stream,
mm,
and then it's like they're beating against insanity. And but I'm not. There's not. It's not for me to criticize for real.
mm,
But as far
mm,
as the pre-records, a
mm.
lot of my subs came from pre-records. A
Yeah,
lot of them.
yeah. That's where new people come from, and then that should eventually lead into your live streams.
Yeah, but if you condition certain people to do certain things, then that's what they're used to, and it's I guess like I don't know. I guess I have to condition them to get used to these live streams.
Hmm.
But I'm always willing to just try things here and there to see what works and what doesn't work. What works, keep it around. What doesn't work, discard it.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I
but
think that in the YouTube game, things are a lot different and always have been because of the fact that a large mainstay of the content here on YouTube is pre-recorded videos. Most people on YouTube in general pull up pre-recorded videos.
Hmm.
There's only a small sector of people in the live streaming business on YouTube overall. I
Yeah, I
think
noticed that.
they only consist of like maybe 30,000 people if I'm being generous.
Hmm.
So for the most part, uh, a lot of the people with the subs are going to be the people that have, a large amount of pre-recorded videos. For instance, one of the founding fathers of this space in general is PewDiePie. You know, back when he helped to put this place together, um, all of his videos were pre-recorded, all of them.
Hmm.
Live streaming wasn't on this platform back then.
No.
Live streaming has only been around for like what, the past 8 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe I think 2014. I think it really was. Well, live stream. Because
Oh,
before I didn't see any live streaming. I mean, any hangouts.
oh, it hasn't been that long.
It hadn't been that long. No.
Yeah.
now YouTube is the pre-recorded place. In fact, there are many YouTubers that push that short videos are the way to go.
It depends. It depends.
Okay.
Yeah,
Unless you like Kevin Samuels, where
yep.
where basically his biggest audiences are actually his biggest videos are actually live streams.
Yeah.
But
And then keep in mind,
live streams make you more money. That's why a lot of people
Uh,
live stream.
yeah.
yeah, then keep in mind, when it comes to live streaming numbers in general across all platforms, uh, YouTube is one of the lower amongst them. You're going to get more viewership on different places. I mean, I think that YouTube has the most friendly live streaming place to do, like in terms of service providers. I think that they have one of the most generous places to live stream in terms of harassment and terms of service and things of that nature. But outside of that, when it comes to numbers and just raw viewership, you know, almost every other platform, you go to Instagram, you go to, I think, what didn't Twitter do live streams, Facebook Live, uh, you got, and Facebook Live isn't even, that's brand new. They don't even do a lot of numbers, but they still do more than YouTube. You know what I mean? So there's the thing.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, when it comes to live streaming, when it comes to live streaming, the audience size in terms
It's
of like,
bigger.
yeah,
It's big.
They actually
Wow.
do live streams. Yeah, are bigger on Facebook. Uh,
so when you go to different places that are more live stream oriented, you may, you may be able to do better in those spaces, but you have to be a lot more, what's the word? You have to censor your content more to a certain extent because if you don't, you're going to catch that ban hammer because it's a lot
mm,
different in different places.
yeah.
It's like trying to put the content that we do here on YouTube in this space, in the
Uh-huh.
manosphere, so to speak, on a place like Twitch. You get banned within probably 24 hours. You know, you're not getting away with that anymore. There's a
Oh,
time when you could, but
okay. Oh, so Twitch has gotten that strict, huh?
oh yeah, man, you can't even say every single word you can think of in the dictionary pretty much is getting policed. So it's not a safe place to be for anyone that thinks outside of the box anymore. There's another streamer. He's pretty controversial. Have you ever heard of a guy called Destiny?
No.
Little white kid.
Yeah.
Well, he got banned off of Twitch like almost a dozen times.
God.
You know, and his rhetoric isn't even really. I mean, he's just a gamer kid, So all the inflammatory shit that he says really isn't that inflammatory to anyone who plays video games. Not really. Uh,
Mhm.
so for the most part, the things that we say here in this space, yeah, nah, you're not getting away with that. You can't, you know, because the things that he says are very uh, soft in comparison. I think that someone from our space tried to convert over there, and they got uh, destroyed within a couple of weeks, and
You
that
know
was
what?
a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's the YouTube audience, and I think Kev was saying this earlier. Each platform has a particular audience, and it's hard to get one audience from one place to go to another place. So, like a lot of people, like Kev has a big Facebook following, but to get them to follow him to YouTube is much more difficult because it's a different medium, and people get kind of what they call siloed, where they don't like to move
Yeah,
if
you're
they're in
pigeonholed.
Facebook. Yeah, well, yeah, they no, it's not. No, but when I say it is, people are siloed. In other words, um, people that like Facebook, they stay on Facebook. They don't go to YouTube. And people on YouTube, like I said, when I came to YouTube, man, I stopped going to Facebook. I hardly ever go to Facebook unless it's like Dr. Johnson or something like that. Check his post. For the most part, I'm not even on it.
I don't even like Facebook no more. Ever since I got over here,
Yeah. So
I'm like, man, this is the bomb here.
so I think the only place where most people on YouTube go may be Twitter, where Twitter kind of works with YouTube. But other than that,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to. Yeah, they're almost two different audiences.
They are. I mean,
Mm.
so for instance, uh, what I'm much more familiar with is the Twitch audience, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
that's where I came from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, before Twitch even got put together, there was another live streaming service called Justin.tv. That was
Yes,
originally Twitch,
it was really Twitch. I remember Justin.
and the reason for the split was because Justin.tv was much more oriented towards real life content,
Yeah.
right? So you had people who were doing real life stuff, and they had to split off and do their own thing, while the people who Justin.tv had a very large gaming audience, and they were like, well, we have this large gaming audience, we need to do something with them because they're filtering over into the real life content as well, and we don't
Mm.
particularly want that.
Yeah.
you know
I think Twitch is still thought of as a gamer's medium, and not necessarily as like in real life. In real life, doesn't do that well over there.
it depends, right? So if you're a
Mm.
woman with big tits, you know what I
Oh
mean,
well,
like
yeah, yeah,
you're winning.
yeah.
But uh
Well, when a
it's
woman with big tits wins just about everywhere in
everywhere.
social media.
Yeah, everywhere. But I mean, yeah, so it's the
So it's been
people.
live streaming ever since the internet and Wi-Fi.
Not really. I mean, there had to be enough bandwidth for live streaming, and while live streaming really didn't, because I remember they were talking about it like in the late '90s. It was in the user groups,
Oh,
and it was just starting to have enough bandwidth to stream, and then it
oh,
was audio like Blog Talk. Blog Talk was like a live streaming, but it's audio only, and YouTube was really the first. I do believe the first video where you could actually live stream. Um, I mean, from the public, because Justin TV actually tilted toward corporations and people with businesses, and in the tech business, actually streaming their real life stuff and talking to an audience, and it was a little bit more expensive. Whereas YouTube was geared toward everyday people, and I think that's when it really started to explode.
All right, let me call out this Cash App. Nathan Theodore Francis, thank you for your support. Appreciate it. Also, Cash App is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. The subject matter for tonight is the exercise of tolerance, but basically, we're just having a conversation right now, which is cool, as always, because that's what we're here for. We're here for um, uh, good conversations too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the open panels is really where the where the angst is starting to come, because people get on to express their opinions, and you have two opposing opinions, and people forget that they're in public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
and and once you think about it, when you see these programs on television, you don't have the integration like that. You don't. They'll. You won't be able to step on that platform and say what's on your mind. You
Mm-mm.
come to places like this,
Yeah,
That's the difference. Yes.
yep,
and places like this is getting a lot of exposure. The Black Manosphere, yeah, is I see it becoming much bigger than I think a lot of people think. So, with that kind of exposure and with the nature of people coming here, it's going to
yeah,
become a very popular thing.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I think it's gonna follow the same trajectory as MGTOW, because I think it was 2013 when I was just before I became a content creator, I was just a viewer, and I think the MGTOW, maybe they had maybe 500 people, if that many, that would call themselves MGTOW, and it just kind of exploded from there over the 8 years that it's been around. People think it's or the 10 years that it's been around. It was just a very few people, and then one day it got out, so what I call semi-mainstream, and then it exploded. And I think the Black Manosphere is going to do the same thing, because you have all these uh, people, all these men that are suffering, because they think that they're alone, and when they hear this kind of stuff, say, "Wait a minute, have all these guys having the same experience?" And so that let me listen some more. So I think it will explode. It just hasn't gotten out. They've been trying to pin the Black Manosphere down for like the last 5 years to keep it
Yeah, that's
from following the same path as MGTOW.
that's my main concern about our exposure, so to speak, to the mainstream.
Hmm.
Um,
Really.
yeah, I think for me, in terms of like where I see the trajectory of this group going,
Hmm.
I think that to a certain extent, I think our exposure has been limited, and probably it really depends on how countries decide to address these issues, because if they don't, and they decide to keep on shelving it as an issue, then
Hmm.
obviously the space will continue to grow. But I think that countries, it's in their best interest to suppress it, to be completely honest.
We
Yeah.
talk about the Black Manosphere.
Yeah.
I don't think the Black Man. I don't think the Black Manosphere really applies to, I say, like 90% of the world. It's a very it's a very small group compared to the almost 8 billion people on the planet.
Well, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the only issue there is that the rhetoric that's being pushed here,
Hmm.
and also the content,
The
it has
universal
merit.
appeal.
Yeah, it
The
has
universal
universal appeal.
appeal. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
we kind of found that out when Kevin got on that show, and he shut down those three white girls with
So the
with the same talk rhetoric and talking points that we've been using on the Manosphere for years.
Right, and that sort of appeal
Hmm.
will create, almost other people are going to adopt our viewpoints. It's just going
Well,
to happen.
they already
And
are.
so with that being the case, it
Mhm.
leads me to believe that, to a certain extent, my concern, like I said, is whether or not, we will continue to be suppressed overall. We'll see how that works out. I don't know. I can't know, but
And
you know,
they're
see.
trying. They're trying. Shadow banning and all that kind of stuff. But
So
at
what do
some
y'all
point,
think the estimate of amount of people worldwide that's in the manosphere,
the Manosphere, the broader Manosphere, or the Black Manosphere.
the Black manosphere?
I would say it's hard to measure. I'd say about 100,000, maybe.
So yeah, so yeah, there are still a lot of content creators that we haven't come across that say this exact same thing.
Hmm.
That are black men.
Yeah.
You know. So
And not necessarily part of the Black Manosphere, because you hear a lot of what we're saying, even though they don't claim Black Manosphere, repeating the same talking points and subjects and topics that we do.
Uh-huh.
It's not a
Even white guys.
coincidence.
It's
yeah,
not a coincidence.
Now the white guys have their own manosphere.
the basically the term manosphere came from the white guys. Term the red pill or the red pill manosphere that of the original was the men's rights advocates. It was a pickup artist, and it was a MGTOWs. Or originally it was just pickup artists and men's right advocates, and then the MGTOWs joined them, and then that became the manosphere. And then we had the splinter from black guys, or part of the of those three white groups, kind of formed their own like subgroup that we call the Black Manosphere. And that was like
Right.
2015, pretty much. Was when the Black Manosphere as a name actually popped up.
Oh,
Before that, it was just black men on YouTube for the most part.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand it that we have all these movements here and and everything. You know, these little separate cliques and but
Mhm.
what I'm starting to believe that's integrating to the manosphere is relatable black men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, people who have the same experiences that any of us have. So, I mean, that's what's going to help it grow ultimately. You know,
Well, basically, they're not cliques. You know, we think of them as cliques because people gather around a certain idea, but but they're really schools of thought. They're really not cliques because
okay, yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah, the schools of thoughts. Like Ib Moore is a school of thought. SYSBM, is a school of thought. You do have some people that are pro-black, and other little groups. The thing is, it's mostly schools of thought.
Okay. Now,
I agree with BGS wholeheartedly.
The Habitude Thinkers.
The who?
Is it Habitude?
Habitual line steppers.
It's hard for me to remember that.
But Kev says something. You had to be a little bit what in your thinking, Kev, to be a habitual line stepper.
Is that a different group?
You said it wasn't warped. It was something you said you have to have it as far as a mindset.
Well, I didn't say demented. Yeah,
it might. I don't think it was demented, but that it's something similar to that. But you said that you had it, and to be a habitual line stepper, you have to have a little bit of that.
Is that a different group?
No. It's a mindset.
It's just.
I'm asking him because I can't remember the term he used. Because I asked him and said, "Oh, so you had to be a habitual line stepper. You had to be." I can't remember the term that he used, but and he laughed and I laughed.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to go back and remember what show that was. See, that's the thing.
That was a while back.
Yeah. The thing is about that, like you do all these shows, and it's like I would love to pinpoint where I said something, but damn, it's like
you can't. Especially that's the problem with live streams. You can't. If it's on a recorded video, you can kind of figure out what you were thinking at the time and figure it out what you actually said. But after so many years, especially on a live stream, man, when I used to do like 8 to 10 hour live streams, and somebody said, "You said this back 3 years ago." I said, "Where?" And they said,
"Wow."
And it was on a live stream. I said, "Those are 8 hours. Okay, you picked something out of 8 hours that I said." Okay,
that's long, man.
Oh yeah, that was common. That was common.
All right, well, let me get some shout outs in the chat real quick. Shout out to Babe Blotter News, Mark Nash, what's going on, guy? Courtney Woody, also thanks for being here, and Aiko Jiaming, what's going on? Dewan Little as well. I think you're from Facebook, actually.
Okay, a crossover.
Yeah. I mean, I got a couple of crossovers. A lot of them watch pre-records, but it's some of them come to the live stream too. I actually had somebody from my hometown that recognized my voice one time.
Oh wow! How did they run across you? That's the thing. How did they?
They watched Kevin Samuels.
Oh, okay. In the algorithm.
It was that night I did that big Kevin Samuel show.
Oh, okay. All right. And the algorithm picked you up.
Yeah, algorithm picked me up. Yeah, that show was huge. That was a fun show too. So so that's how I mean that's the risky run.
Yeah.
that's
That's funny, man. When Kevin used to be on my streams, man, it's on my men's stream and my women's streams, and to see him blow up, man, it kind of popped my collar a little bit, man. I said I knew him when.
I told him, remember we were having a conversation. I don't know if it's been too long, but we had a conversation.
Mhm.
I don't know. You might have been there. It may have been on you or O'Shea's channel.
Okay.
And I don't know. I told him flat out because he was talking about I think he was talking about Black Men's Image and how he was gonna tell people the secrets to how to do this stuff. And I was like, man, you need to be careful with that because you need to charge people because the thing is, you can make a lot of money doing that. Now you put it out there for free ain't the move. You need to charge people.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, I was like, you do that and you're gonna blow up. And
Mhm.
sure enough,
Yeah,
here we are.
There he is. There, yeah, he popped. Right message at the right time, man.
All right, BGS, you got a question on the screen from Bay Blotter News. He said, "Who is accepted in the Black Manosphere?"
Okay, that is since it's so broad, that is up to the to the people that subscribe, who's accepted. Because the number one, do you claim it? Because some people that do content that's associated with it don't claim it. That's number one. And do the people that are your subs, that enough of the people that are subs that, of the community actually accept you? So it's really not up to the content creators. So I can't really answer that because a lot of people said that the habitual line stepper shouldn't be in the Black Manosphere, but I said that's up to the people that are not up to the content creators. That's up to the people that are actually consuming the content. That's what I said. Because it's not up to me because because it's not it's not an organization where you have to have a membership. You got to be voted in. No, if you have the content and you say you want to be in, and your content aligns with it, and people say they like it, you're in. That's the way I see it. It's up to the people that actually consume the content, because there wouldn't be a Black Manosphere without people watching and without people participating. The content creators is just a voice that happen to be, projecting these ideas out. But the thing is, it's like they might be like the head, but the thing is, the head doesn't survive without the body. It has to have a body. And the people that are in the chats and view and subscribe and donate all the kind, those are the people that make up the manosphere, the Black Manosphere. So when they say it's I always said, since these rules aren't followed and blah blah blah, that I'm leaving and the Black Manosphere is dead. No, it's not. Because basically without those people that need the message, that consume the content, and that believe in share in this creation, then as long as they're around, as long as they have something to say, O'Shea said he left. Somebody popped up and took his place.
I find that funny.
Yeah.
I find it all funny.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, like this space existed before you got here. What are you talking about? People are still okay. If people still continue to have these thoughts, which they will, these problems will persist.
Yeah.
Right. Like, just because one person disappears, the whole structure surrounding it isn't just going to get snapped Thanos away. It doesn't work that way. Okay?
Like so the so-called Manosphere, even though they didn't call themselves that, Manosphere 1.0. Okay, I would say 90% of them are gone. Maybe 99% of them are gone. They're gone, right? But the Manosphere itself still exists because the people that need the message or believe in the message or believe in the content are still here. So are still there supporting. So
those guys that actually started it, a lot of those are not on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, they've gone on to something else. They gone on something else. But the thing is, it persists as long as there's people that were willing to listen to it. Then that makes up the Manosphere. So I mean, basically, I like Roger and I like the habitual line steppers, but I have I don't have any say about whether they're in or out. It's the people that support them to say whether they're in or out. The people that some of my subs or whatever say, okay, we like them and we want them in, they're in.
Yeah.
I don't have any power over that. So to say who's in and who's out, I mean, you can come up with a list, but basically that list is just who's more popular in this particular space. And it could be me, it could be Angry Man, it could be, well, O'Shea said he's not part of it, but thing is he still has subs, he still participates. So saying, I have a lot of people say, well, I'm not part of the manager, but hey, but bruh,
It's
Hey,
about
you still
aggrandizing.
participate in it. Yeah, you still participate in it. So you still are a part of it.
Didn't
otherwise-
O'Shea make a couple of videos?
Yeah.
Well, it's like you're trying to
didn't
aggrandize
O'Shea make-
yourself to make yourself seem like you're larger than life. You know what I mean? Like to a certain extent, it's like, okay, you think that you're so popular to the point that everyone else that's viewing other channels will leave all those channels simultaneously after you leave. How
Yeah.
does that work?
Ah,
You
well,
know?
it doesn't.
Like exactly. Like what are you thinking?
Because
Like
people
are
say-
you thinking? You
people
know, your
say-
ego is just obscene to believe such a
You know,
thing, you know?
because people ask me and said, well, you have 37,000 subs. I said those subs don't belong to me. Okay, they're not mine. That's just people that like listening to me that happen to hit that subscribe button. They don't belong to me. People said like I have this captured amount of people. I don't. I said my information belongs to them, but they don't belong to me. They could go anywhere.
Well, apparently you're holding us all at gunpoint. You know, like I don't know.
That's a good thing though.
Yeah,
The way
it
that's
is.
set up, that's a good thing.
It is, yeah. So people ask me that question, who's in and who's out. I said that's up to the group of people that listen. It's up to the listeners to decide who's in and who's out.
These
It's not up
people
to
want
me.
to gatekeep, but the thing is that you can't effectively gatekeep something that you don't have full control over. Like you don't pull the levers to this.
Yeah, you don't.
You know,
Yeah.
like YouTube isn't a space that you can gatekeep without support from YouTube itself.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just cancel a channel. You could try to, you know, you might get them knocked off for a couple days, couple weeks, but what are you going to do if they make another channel and they have, you know, actual support?
YouTube can't even gatekeep it. How do you think I can?
Exactly. You know,
I just hit a button. I put my stuff up. If people look at it, they look at it. If they don't, they don't.
That's what's so unique about it, man.
Mhm.
All right, shout out to Mark Nash for the super chat. Appreciate it. Great content. Support the show. All right.
Yeah. So I've, you know, I live in reality, man. You know, the effect I have is because one, I've kind of earned my reputation. That's one thing I will say. Every sub I got, I earned. You know, I didn't beg for them. I didn't go to other people's channels and flag for them or recruit them or anything like that. Every sub I got, I earned because somebody listened to me and they like what I said. They hit that button.
So BJS, when are you on?
When am I on? Or it's not any regular thing. I try to even my pre-recorded stuff is irregular now. I used to like upload twice a day, and I was always on Friday and Saturdays. But after that little doxing thing, I kind of stepped back from it. So I'm probably on more on other people's stream more than I actually live stream myself.
Oh, okay.
kind of unfortunate I wasn't here for that. I probably would have been able to, you know, find out who that was, but I don't know who it was at this point. Wasn't here, so.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the risk that you take when when you're controversial. Now, I piss people off, so I know I piss people off.
Oh yeah, you push all the buttons.
I do push buttons, so so I have to take the hit. And people say, "Well, yeah, I don't like what you said, BGS." I said, "Well, guess what? You're gonna get more of it."
Yeah, but there's some things that are out of line, and like that's a line. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think doxing has always been a line when it comes to content creation. No one has ever. We have literally, even in this space, not literally the manosphere, but in this space overall, YouTube.
Yeah,
like, we have canceled people for doing that. You know what I mean? So it's a no-go.
But I know YouTube has something personal against me because a lot of the rules that people get flagged for, even get banned for, they're allowed to do. When it comes to me. So I said, okay, that means you don't even follow. YouTube doesn't even follow its own rules. So that means that most people there's free reign on me. So I said, okay, I just have to either I'm going to leave or I need to accept it. So I don't even worry about it anymore. So people say, oh, I'm a dox you, BGS. I said, it's already out there, bro. So I don't know what you need to find. If you go to the right place, you'll find out who I am and all the other kind of stuff if you really want to. So there's not much you can do to me now. And said, and plus, that's like if I wanted to have a bigger expand the manosphere so that one person, so actually hitting one person is not going to do any good, because all the stuff that I've said is spread around so much that even if you got rid of me, the message and the talking points and information is still going to be out there.
Well, I think we're good now. We got what, 4 PhDs. We got the habitual line steppers.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a lot of fruit. We got Kevin Samuels. We got a lot of
blowing
fruits
up.
for our labor. So
Basically, yeah. So basically the manosphere compared to where I came in is light years from where it is, even though some people don't agree. You guys haven't done nothing. I said, okay, I beg to differ. You know.
These people are blind. They have no foresight.
Well, they want to say that their time in what they did is outweighs what you're doing now. And hopefully what I say is that that's why I applauded Kevin. I said, I could have never done what Kevin did. And so even though a lot of stuff that he says, came from us, and a lot of us came from me, the thing is, I cannot do what he did. He took the information, he applied it, and he's doing stuff that most people can't. And I applaud it. So now the information has a bigger platform, a bigger stage to be on, and more people will hear it. Not just black people, also white people, because you see a lot of white people adopting these same talking points. So it's spread.
Yeah, I told him years ago, dude. Like I couldn't, like, I don't envy you, bro, because I couldn't do it. You want to sit there and talk to motherfuckers that can't be? I feel like they can't be talked to. Fuck them. You know. Like,
it takes a special person to do that.
Special personality. Yeah.
He's got they call him a saint. And that's the reason. Yeah, he got that title for a reason, boy.
He does. Sometimes I even want to go through the TV on him and say, Kevin, hang up on that son of a gun.
But controversy sells tickets. Let's put it that way, especially amongst the black folks.
It does.
It's a shame to a certain degree, though, that we as blacks are we're attracted to the fuckery.
Well, because we live in a what I call a gynocracy or matriarchy, right? And we take on the some of the cultural attributes of our women. And what do they like? Go to Love and Hip Hop and go to the Housewives of Atlanta, all that kind of stuff. The same thing that goes on there goes on in black male YouTube. Exact same stuff. So basically, we have adopted the kind of cultural habits of our mothers, and we like the same stuff.
I agree to that. I think even to add to that, I think it's a larger cultural point that the larger group or society itself, one of the biggest exports we have in this country is it's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So, people like to be entertained. So you put on a good show and, you put on the monkey suit and you dance. Well, people will be there to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what Kevin did to those white girls, right? It was shocking, amongst white YouTube. It was shocking. I mean, actually shocking. They talked about it for weeks.
What was it? 2 weeks ago?
About 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
The
three girls.
Yeah. I saw
it was shocking. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he went hard.
Well, the thing is, he didn't go any. He didn't give. No, basically, that wasn't even hard. Okay,
I thought that was the hardest I've actually.
No, not even close. Oh, you haven't seen it, man. Oh, no, hell no.
I mean,
not even close.
In other words, he didn't cut her no slack.
He didn't cut her no slack.
See, if that was a black woman, you wouldn't have said that, because it was a white girl. Oh, he didn't cut her no slack. See?
Well, it just seemed like he was just really saying, "I'm gonna get this one."
No,
he gave her the baby gloves.
Oh, he did. We gave her the baby gloves.
What he really did was let her hang her own self with her own rope.
On rope,
And she's gonna say she was half man. I was saying, well, is she transgender or something?
No. What she's saying is the way she lives her life is she works and lives in a man's world. So evidently she's one of them cool chicks that have a lot of male friends and stuff like that. That's why she says she's half a man.
But she had that deep voice too.
No, basically not really. If you have you ever been around any party girls, white or black? They drink a lot and party a lot and scream a lot.
Voice,
that raspy voice, yeah.
But hers seemed to be deep.
She
No,
came
not
out
deep.
the baby with a pack of Newports, is what she
Yeah,
said.
yeah, she
She
did.
was ready.
Yeah, she did.
She's
Yeah,
30 years
that's
old.
yeah. She been partying since she was 12, so you know that you can tell.
Oh, okay. She one of them.
She wanted them. That's like
Okay.
she thought she could go at him, but she thought the white guys were actually going to defend her. They ain't say nothing. Say, get her, Kevin.
Yeah, because believe it or not, they tired of that shit too.
They are. They are. But it was.
Hey.
But they were shocked. But the thing is, it was just Tuesday for us.
Yeah.
And
It
you
wasn't
know,
Monday. It was
and
just Tuesday.
let me point something out too, man. A lot of people have accused black men who think like us of handling white women with kid gloves. Like we're just gonna bow down and we worship and praise them and we think they're better and all this other bullshit.
Mhm.
No, they get the business too.
They get the business.
Yeah.
I've done that shit in real life. Check white women. I mean,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like for instance, white girl had a big booty and thought
Oh.
she could drop the N-word around me. I'm like, don't do that fucking shit. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not the type of person that just outright slap you in the motherfucking face like a lot of my homies will, but nah, bitch, nah. Oh, seriously.
You didn't slip on the pearls that she clutched, did you?
Nah. I mean, but they always say that we handle white women with kid gloves and we ain't gonna talk to them like we do black women. No. And in a lot of instances, we do them worse. But we have a group of women that like they are so like they don't want to be told anything to the point where their
Yeah.
knee-jerk reaction is to exaggerate the fuck out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like every time we tell them something, it's like, oh my God, this is. They retreat to those excuses, like I don't know. I'm just. I'm just kind of going off
What I'm
right
saying,
now.
he's on somebody's platform, so he didn't really, dig into her. As smart ass as she was, normally Kevin would have really dug into it because she was a smart ass, but he kind of backed off a little bit. But even that, the white guys were shocked. Like, wow, he talked to her like that. Wow,
Yeah.
he really went in.
You can go back and look at some of the past. I'm trying to think. I don't know if what is either it's Obsidian. It might be Obsidian and your live streams as well, BGS, where we had a couple of women up on the panel.
Oh yeah,
And we have gone through and eviscerated some of these women. If you go back and look at that and use that for compare and contrast, what he did in that particular instance, in my opinion, was just kid gloves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we really could have took her head off and served it to her.
Yeah.
Said eat it.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of those. I've seen you on there, PK, and of course, BGS. See, the thing is, a lot of people they think that you're being mean, but I don't see that, man. You use your intellect and you kill them softly and nicely. Now if they get crazy, I can see you really going in on them. And sometimes that's usually being deserving and you speak intelligently, so I can't see people just out there saying shit just to say it. Now I had to correct the honest truth one night, about you and about a couple others, and I'm like, bro,
Coffee.
Go ahead.
Don't mean to cut you. No. Well, listen. You already said his name.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, but I kind of, and he has a right to his opinion. But in the places he goes with it, I would never do in order to take somebody out. I
feel it.
Yeah, so
just don't mention
I feel like I've helped him out enough. No, for real. He's just been up here.
I don't even know who he is.
Me neither. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, he's appeared a few times on this platform.
Oh, okay.
But if you're gonna spout black men ain't shit rhetoric, I can't help you with that.
No.
Even me, I had to learn that the hard way because me going on the panel trying to get his brother a second chance, to redeem himself, and the talking points is just a little too crazy for me.
I mean, but you have hurt like the old saying goes, hurt people hurt people. He's a I mean, like whatever his character is, I mean, he feels like he's helping. He's helping by gaslighting and being dishonest about things. But it's like if that's his content, that's his content. If he got an audience, hey, more power to him. But my advice to that young man is you're gonna have to keep it up. The second you switch, everybody's gonna turn on you.
Well,
So
I think there's a such thing, and like I said, I don't know who this person is, but I think that depending on the content that you produce, you'll have a much worse time garnering more followers as time progresses, depending on how you got those followers in the first place. So let's say, for instance, you went through the whole rigmarole of starting up YouTube beef and YouTube drama, and that's how you got your subscriber base. Well, those people will be gone, at the drop of a hat, depending on what does and doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So it's like if you go through your YouTube career in that way, you're sowing your own destruction. So he can do it, and for whoever does that, you can do that, but it comes at a price. Just be willing to fall off when that shit comes for you.
Yeah,
because that's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna if that's what you do, then you actually generate that energy. So
yeah, I agree. So
that's why I try to steer clear of it if I can. If somebody says something, you know what? Hey, stay over there.
Yeah, just don't want to give that kind of energy. Like I said, he's getting viewers if they're supporting him. At the end of the day, hey, more power to you, brother. But I'm not gonna help anybody out like that anymore if he has to go about it that way. So.
I always say the people that don't like me, that don't like my content, they need some place to go to. So
yeah.
I like
the hate watchers. The hate watchers.
The hate yeah. In other words, they need some place to vent. Oh, that damn BGS! I hate his ass. Yeah, bro, me too. Let's go to a channel and start I hate BGS content. Okay. I said, well, so don't come to my channel with it. Go over there to where it's actually accepted, where it's wanted.
I feel it. So it's more like what they think of me is none of my damn business.
Well, the thing is, it can be the thing. At the end of the day, I can't tell you what to think, what not to think. Just don't exercise it over here with me. If you're over there exercising it away from me, that means I don't have to be bothered with it. You don't have to come to my comment section or come to my live stream or anything like that. You can actually express your views someplace else away from me. So I'm old school. If you don't like me, stay away from me.
I feel it. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm both ways. Like if you don't like me, stay away from me, and if I don't like you, get the fuck away from me. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, some of these guys act like women out there.
Well, we've adopted the same kind of ways, man. We think that stuff is important that our women do. So where do we get it? We got it from them. That's why they like beef. They like beef. They like to see people hollering and screaming at each other, and then if you do that, then for the next 3 weeks, that's what it'll be about. Okay. And when are you guys gonna holler and screaming at each other again? That's entertainment.
Yeah.
I came up on the panel because I was like, oh shit, BGS is up on the panel.
Okay. All right.
He's going to talk about the topic, which I think it's what is it? The exercise of tolerance.
The exercise of tolerance. It's pretty open. That's a pretty open topic, though.
Yeah. I had Dr. Johnson kind of school me on exercising more tolerance. So even though you're right, you need to peel back and even though they're wrong, go ahead and let them get it out. So I said, yeah, even though I have a low tolerance for people being inaccurate, especially when they're trying to debate and they don't know what they're talking about. But he said I need to have a little bit more tolerance about letting people, even if they're wrong, let them hang themselves. Go ahead.
It takes the let them live approach.
Yeah, I was thinking more so on I brought up something in the comment section about Kirk Franklin and his son. I was going to bring it up anyway because I know you has experience in dealing with sons and giving good advice on sons. Kirk Franklin has a beef with his son, on social media, and I think that old boy just decided to bring it out because it's like, hey, since you can't hear me or see me, can you see me now on social media?
Okay. Well,
They were in a. I don't know if you heard about it. Do you know anything about it?
I heard that something happened. I don't know the details of what happened. Um, and if your family member, you have a beef, if they make it public, there's not much you can do. You can kind of explain it and let it go. At the end of the day, that's your son, and nobody knows you better than your family.
I think in terms of things that get broken out into the public, it
Mm-hmm.
depends on who initiated. So if a person, let's say for instance,
Mm-hmm.
someone gets into a beef with Y Skinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they decide they're going to air that out publicly on social media.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't be the, I don't think in a perfect world, obviously this isn't, but in a perfect world, he shouldn't be the one to take that behind closed doors and handle it. The person who initiated should probably do that. So the other person, I think, has all the right in the world to go after that other person as hard as possible, or use whatever plausible deniability they choose to, you know.
You can, but the thing is that there's two schools of thought with this, right? One, you're protecting your reputation. Two, you're actually putting more fuel to that fire. So which one do you want to do? Because either one is a no-win situation.
I think that he decided to come out. I think he decided to come out against his father in a most vicious way, because they had issues before, and the thing is, and for years, and the thing is, I think because the son had come out and said something like he was pansexual or something.
Okay.
And Kirk wants to get far away from that as possible.
Okay. Yeah. Because his standing and his what do you call it? His image is in the church.
But then again, it's about money too, because I tell you this, Kirk Franklin is not who he is in our eyesight, because the thing is, they got problems like everybody else, but he was ignoring the son. The son decided to bring it all the way out.
Okay. His son has to live with it too.
Yeah, I know that. But the thing is, people looking at it is, okay, Kirk Franklin is cursing, and they thinking that he's not supposed to do that. But he did come out and he apologized to people, but he didn't apologize to his son.
It's because I think he didn't, and he chose not to, because that's what I said initially. He kind of follows where I come from, which is if a person brings drama to you, you air that out the way that you choose to at that point. You know what I mean? Like, and then like if they want to handle it behind closed doors, you do. So if there's any apology to be had from that situation, it would happen behind closed doors, because that person, the opposite party, is the one who initiated.
Basically, if there's issues that go on behind closed doors, and especially go around closed doors amongst people, and it's not in public, and it happens, I wouldn't even say anything. I'm human just like everybody else, and I fall just like everybody else. So if you want to crucify me for being human, go ahead and do it. Okay.
Pansexual.
Yeah, he looks like he wears.
I have sex with everybody.
You ever notice he look like he wears lipstick?
Isn't that bi?
No.
Yeah, well, pansexual can encompass a whole lot of things.
They do it with anything.
Like male, female, transgender, all kinds of
animal, a tree, a dog, a cat, an ox.
Yeah. They do
a blow up doll.
So you just flew off the fucking handle. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
Like, before we get too deep and somebody be like, "Oh, I'm pansexual. Fuck, I'm flagging." No,
any place to unload your rocks is
that's
any bucket will do.
They want to have everything.
A lot of women like that. Like, got a lot of them women out there that's pansexual.
Yeah, it's just a new term that people want to use.
Yeah. Hollywood is full of.
I think that he Kirk Franklin wanted to get far away from it, because it took a long time for him in the ministry to clear his name, because people were calling him gay, this, that, and the third. But the thing is, it's his son. I think that they really should have talked about it. And I think if Will Smith can talk to his kids about this situation, I mean, Kirk Franklin is no different. But
Will Smith is not. It doesn't have a gospel image. Okay.
Yeah, that's
he's completely different.
Kirk, he admitted to looking at pornographic material.
Who, Kirk?
Yeah, he admitted that.
Okay. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Like duh. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I think people want to use that stuff against you. So that's
yeah.
really all it is.
His
But
wife is right there in the interview. You know, he
Mhm.
said
What's
he had magazines up under his bed and everything.
he's a man.
It's the
Yeah.
21st century, you
Yeah.
know? Like, what are we talking about
Yeah.
here? Let's
Yeah.
be honest for a
So,
second.
so most guys would say, okay, he's a man. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, at that point, you're like cutting your nose off to spite your face. Like, we all know what men do. Like, what are we
Yeah.
actually talking about here?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
Like him cursing. Okay. Okay, he's a man.
Like, surprising who?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I met him, man, he was a really cool person. You know, Kurt was, you know, really, you know, just cool, you know, quiet, you know, small as hell. But, you know, I think that son just wanted that father and son relationship before he, and this is the first son that he had when he was a teenager. You know, he
Oh,
went off and married
okay.
the other woman.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
hey,
That's one of those. Okay.
Hey, did he conceive her around a bunch of pots and pans? Okay, that's the last thing I'm gonna say.
Maybe a turkey baster was involved. Okay.
Maybe.
No, he started down here in Fort Worth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I
that's
didn't
where he
know.
got started down. Mm-hmm.
That's like if anybody knows anything about the Dallas Fort Worth area, that's him cussing and doing and porn and all that kind of stuff should not be surprising.
No,
Hell, if you can have a guy sleeping with the male members, and he still has his congregation, Kirk Franklin did shouldn't even be bothered. Okay.
Eddie
Yeah,
Long.
Go ahead.
Eddie Long.
Well, I mean, I figure it this way, right? So a man like that having any man really having skeletons in his closet,
Mm-hmm.
being aired out in public, you know,
Yeah.
I don't. If you're a public facing person, you
Yeah.
know, from time to time, there's always the potentiality for something like that to happen. But
Yeah.
the thing is that, you know, you can't expect for just because a person is a private face, like they're a public persona, so to speak, having a private life. Like, you can't fault the person for having a private life. You know, just because they're not transparent with the public about it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It still happens. They do stuff. You just don't know about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
yeah.
agree with
They're
I
human.
I agree with that. But the thing is just that, you know, a lot of people are not looking at the big picture. You know, I just really wish that father and son could come together some kind of way. And I think that this son that's 33 years old that Kirk Franklin has is wanting him to be, you know, be close. But the thing is, if your father don't want to be around you, man, I mean, just take what you have and just go on with your life. And he's really trying to make him, you know, have that relationship. And he's like,
Yeah.
why do you have relationships with other guys that are my age? You know, I'm 33, you know, you whatever age you are, you know, and
Right.
you're hanging out with dudes younger than me.
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah, that's what it's deeper than them having an argument. And Kirk didn't take his son serious that he was gonna just come on out and air it, and they've been arguing back and forth, man. It's like Kirk screamed at this dude, man, to the point to where you thought that he was gonna come through and shoot a hit, you know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, nobody knows what led up to it. I'm sure it's not something that just happened just because that's his personality.
Kirk
that's
tried
the
to say it was college, that he dropped out of college. It's more than that.
Well, of course, it's more than that. The thing is that, you know, every parent, anybody that has a kid, especially as they get older, you're going to be at your wit's end. And because his kid is what? How old is his son?
Yeah, 33 years old.
Oh man, get the fuck out of here! You're a
Really?
grown ass man. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Like, are you
Grown-ass man.
responsible? Yeah, are you
Yeah.
responsible at that point for a grown adult that has their own sexual preferences? Like,
Yeah,
really?
no, you're not. The thing is,
If
the thing is that we don't even know who initiated the call. Okay.
Now, if he wants to have sex with a pan, that is his business.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what though, it's on the internet, you know, the whole recording, but it's just it's on YouTube too as well. But it's just a small snippet. You know, they were in a therapist meeting where First of all, I think that the son was upset because he had went and got Minister TD Jakes and to counsel them. He was like, no, why don't we go get somebody else who's not in the church industry, because the church is going to tell you whatever it is that you want to hear, and that's kind of true.
What the thing is that when an older child, I wouldn't even call him a child, when one of your older children actually wants you to be in counseling with them, they want that. It's not you. And for him to betray his father's trust, okay, well then you don't have a relationship with your father anymore. That's really what's going to happen.
Kirk said it's been a going on thing, but I would like to see what happened, man.
Why?
I couldn't believe it was him cursing the way he was.
I mean,
so,
he's a human being, and he wasn't. If the kid was like 13, okay, I could understand. It's a grown ass man that you guys been going back and forth with for like probably 30 years.
So being that the show title is an exercise in tolerance, right? This is very on time. The thing is that you can only there's really a very small amount of tolerance you can have for a man, even if he is your own offspring at 33 years old, trying to frame you for anything in terms of personal responsibility. You can go back into the past and try to make arguments for how, if he came out and said, I was touched in the ministry by my dad, that would hold some weight. But anything outside of those measures, you're essentially barking up the wrong tree. At a certain point, you're 33 years old, man. You got to take some personal responsibility. If you don't want to be a faggot out here, if you don't want to be a pansexual out here, you gotta do something else. That's all.
I had, I think it was a few months ago, I had a blowout with my daughter. My daughter's like 32, and she could have taped the same thing, put it up on the internet, and had the same thing with me saying some things, some choice words. Okay, and I love her to death because we were just talking about her new career with a couple days ago. But thing is, that happens with husbands, wives, kids, everybody. Like I said, if the kid was 12 and he did it, that's one thing. But 33, you're a damn man. If you don't like your father, go someplace else. Why are you trying to repair yourself through your father and then betray his trust? That's foul, in my opinion.
That's out of line. That's completely out of line.
It's a line of line. And what people, I want to know what happened, and that's what people are going to want. I really want to dig into what happened, because now, because he's a public figure, people want to know more. It's like, it's none of, like, basically, I don't care. It's none of my business. It's between him and his kid. I don't care about the rest of that stuff. I don't need all the background stuff.
I really don't care about it either. But I will say, I think
that you do, because you want to know more.
I don't care. I don't know, man. It's something going on, and I think he's going to come back out with more.
Something going on, like what?
Well, Kirk is a freak.
He's a who?
He's a freak. I mean, he's
in
the entertainment business and Hollywood and all that stuff. Man, them guys.
He's a man.
You guys doing everything, man.
Man,
for all you know, he could be a pansexual, but what does that matter? What does that got to do with his son?
Oh, okay. Hold on a second, Quofi.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, right? You're in the entertainment business. You're famous, right? You got women, especially in the church, throwing panties at you left and right, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna ignore it?
Oh, hell no.
So you're gonna be a freak, right?
You got men throwing drawers at you too.
Does he? The thing is it proven? Is it proven that he's partaking of the men throwing drawers at him?
No, it's not. Not at all.
Nobody's.
So when you say he's a freak, what does that mean?
He does everything.
I didn't say everything.
What do you say?
Well, he obviously died. He's not a pansexual. So
evidently, he's not partaking of the draws that men are throwing at him. So he's not doing everything. So what do you say when he's a freak? Define that for me.
When I say freak, I mean you bisexual. You mess with men. You mess with dogs. You're paying.
So in other words, you saying that he's messing with men? Is that what you're saying?
I believe he is.
Oh, well, you believe.
Yeah, I don't look. I'm not in his bedroom.
That's the whole thing.
Okay.
That's the
I'm
whole
not.
thing.
I'm not in his bedroom.
That's the
Listen.
whole thing. I thought you knew something. Basically, in
Listen.
Hollywood, you hear stuff, and I never heard
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin partaking. Nobody's
You
ever
can't-
come out.
You can't just make claims about men like that, dude. That's irresponsible as fuck.
That's the lack of tolerance.
It's just stuff that you hear.
Yeah, the church people talking.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it's stuff
that could.
you
I'm
hear.
not saying there isn't any merit to what you're saying. I'm just saying it's irresponsible because the thing is, when you start to call out a man's sexuality, you need some proof for that, especially if he hasn't came out and said something about it.
Or nobody else has come out and said something about it.
Right.
It's been.
Now hold up, y'all. It ain't us on the panel. We just
No.
what we read or what we
Yeah, it's just right. It's just stuff you read. and-
resourceful people in the church.
Right.
Okay, well then it'll come out.
Hey, but listen up though. Listen up though. If he hasn't come out publicly like that yet, we don't need to be making accusations.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we need solid evidence for stuff like that because Kevin Samuels they calling him gay 24 motherfucking 7.
Yeah.
It ain't
no
got
proof.
no damn proof. It ain't
Yeah.
got no
And
proof.
you know what? And if he is, that's his business. That's the way I feel about it.
I feel the same way about Kirk Franklin. How long has he been in the public eye?
The point I was making was the fact that Kirk Franklin was so upset with the son to the point to where he shut him up in the middle of the conversation and
So?
shut up.
Do you have children, right?
No, I don't have children.
Okay, well that's common, man. I do that with my kids all the time. That's common. Especially if the older they get, you shut them up.
But I'm just saying he should have respected his father for one. I think I'm with PK on that. But what I'm saying is it shouldn't have never gotten to the point to where it went public.
Basically, if you're in any relationship, okay, everything that shouldn't happen does happen. In other words, if there would be no Black manosphere if everything that shouldn't happen didn't happen. Okay, it does. So that's that. So saying that it shouldn't have happened, yeah, maybe it shouldn't have. But the thing is, guess what? It does. It happens all the time, especially when you have a grown ass man that's 33 years old. Because I wouldn't even been a part of it. Okay, I would just turned around and walked out. It's your life, man.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna try to repair it before things get worse.
Why?
It got worse. I mean,
why? He's grown. He's not a small child. He's grown. Let him go.
But I could look at Kurt's face when he came and apologized to the public for it. But I think he apologized to the public because of him cursing.
Yeah,
more cursing, but altogether, I can tell that he really probably care about his son.
He does.
Maybe they will get it, together. That's all I want to see.
But 9 times out of 10, if it gets to that point, and your child, your grown ass son publicly embarrass you like that, basically, if he wanted more love from his father, this is not the way to get it. In fact, it's the opposite way. His father probably will never talk to him again.
Right. I wouldn't either. The thing is that, like, consider this, right? This is just a little thought experiment. Let's say you have a son who is a murderer, right? But he's grown. He's not like a kid. He's grown. How much responsibility for you as his father take for that, if any? Would you take some? And you didn't play a part in that.
No.
Do you take responsibility for that? I say no. That's my answer. It's flat out no.
You're grown. You did what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So the idea that this man should have any sort of apology for his son in that instance is ludicrous to me. He shouldn't, not in public anyway.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's a private matter at that point. If he wants to handle it privately, but that's really up to him.
I wouldn't.
That's really I wouldn't.
You basically you told me how you feel about me. Okay. Now, I have to take this hit, but guess what? You're disowned, son.
Oh yeah, and so for him to come out and publicly apologize, that was a public image thing. That was about him trying to maintain his public image.
That's what I saw too.
Yeah. Same thing with Jada and Will.
So brand is completely cut off, huh? Just cut them off.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't even come. You can't come to the cookout no more.
Stacey Dash going to the cookout.
Yeah,
What up,
because
Chaos?
because I couldn't do that to him as his father. What's wrong with you? You got feedback, Chaos.
All right, hold on. Let me mute myself. I don't know why this phone. I hate StreamYards with the stupid cell phone. It should not be
Hey,
feedback.
it ain't StreamYards, man.
It is, man, because I was gaming and shouldn't be doing that.
All right. So what's going on, Chaos Rain? What's going on?
It was good, man. Y'all talking about something that needs proof, validation, and in a lot of spaces, there's a lot of smear campaign against black men about are they a homophobe or not. And let's be honest, the black community don't give a fuck about homosexuality. That's me. You get me? It only applies when it doesn't favor one sex, particularly black women. They will call you gay if it's not in the best interest of them. Period.
Yeah, they're trying to hit you. They're trying to dig into your manhood.
Yeah, like it's gonna do some shit digging on certain men.
Yeah, well, it used to.
And
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
when they did Kevin Samuels like that, it was nothing he could do about it.
Yeah. I mean,
But it was-
I mean, he could do some, but at this point, they're becoming very irrelevant now because now they talk about him, and every time they talk about it, they say this is Kitten Samuels. I say, well, damn.
Well, well, we know who those people are, and they won't get very far with what they're saying. I mean, Kevin Samuels has enough of the audience not to give a fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
if
I'm
I
just
mean-
wondering, could he do anything about it? But I guess not.
I mean, people can say all they want about you. I mean, if they're not completely slandering you, like they're not going around saying like he raped a baby or some shit like that, then there's nothing that he can do. It's fair use. People can criticize you if they want, but it has to have some merit. That's what I'm saying. If you're just trolling or you're just trying to slander, people will see that shit. Nobody's asking Kevin Samuels about the guy that had 100 people watching the other night that keeps saying that he's gay. When he got like I said, he's reached a zenith on this platform. So, like I said, that's like that audience is like a very, very, very small fraction of what his audience is. So he got bigger and better things to worry about besides a couple of haters. Yeah. And if people hating, you're doing shit right. So
yeah.
So primarily the guy that keep calling him Kitten Samuels and the set that keeps calling him Kitten Samuels, they're stagnant. Like
I hadn't heard that.
They stagnant as fuck. Like because the motherfuckers ain't about shit, Yeah. And I mean, if they're listening, I mean, y'all know who I'm talking about. I mean, me and these people, we kind of go back further than this YouTube thing. So, fuck them anyway. I mean, they know what I'm talking about. But I mean, it's like for a guy, and I will say this, for a guy they're calling gay, you're all over his fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. It would be like
they got his name in their mouth like 24/7.
Yeah.
This goes with the tolerance of exercise, meaning, how far are you gonna go with this if you are the perpetrator, and how far are you going to be able to tolerate it if you are the person accused? And I really don't think at this point that Kevin Samuels should even worry about it.
Yeah.
I have a clear line in the sand on this issue. It's very clear to me. I tolerate up until the intolerable. If you do something that's intolerable based on my framework, that's the point where I cut you off personally. I think that most men should adopt this point of view because it serves a purpose for properly categorizing people, because unfortunately we live in a world where you have to pass judgment. A lot of people like to say don't pass judgment on people, but you have to. You do it every day, in fact.
Yeah.
So to a certain extent, it helps you to filter out, weed out the people that are going to be effective and conducive to your life and people that won't be. And you should do that and adopt that overall. So if someone does something or says something or acts in a particular way that's intolerable, you need to excise them. Unfortunately, that's just the way this world works. If you don't, then you risk contaminating yourself to their bullshit.
Yeah, I've had to let a few people go that constantly complaining about one content creator or another. And I said, you know what? At some point, it's like, you know, I'm getting tired of hearing this. Why don't you just go make your content and grow your channel and leave everybody else alone?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've had to take a few hits, but it is what it is. It's what I believe. You know, at some point you got to let that stuff go. And at some point I get tired of hearing it.
Yeah, I just, you know, even me, that's why I asked you who is accepted in the manosphere, and I know that you didn't really have the answer. I asked that earlier, you know, in the chat. But the thing is, I guess it just doesn't matter, man. I don't need to know what your fucking fetishes are. I don't even need to know what you've done in your bedroom. Just be a man. That's all.
We even have what I call the cockroach level in the manosphere. I call them bottom feeders that do nothing but comment on and complain about everybody else's content and try to, you know, do all kind of negative stuff. So if they're in it, everybody else can be in it. I don't have any criteria about who's in the manosphere.
Yeah, but let me give a clear path on that question. Do you mean like? Do you mean in terms of coffee? Do you mean in terms of content creators, moderators, panel participants? What do you mean? Like,
as in the question, meaning me not caring about what someone do?
No. You said who's accepted in the manosphere. Were you meaning?
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, you know, like, you know, as in most people that frequent, you know, the panels, most people that frequent the chat, you know, and all that, you know, they would still consider themselves being in the manosphere. And I know that when I listen to people like BGS, you know, of course, you know, you have Roger, they don't have the same thing going on because they're in different directions. Mm-hmm. The other channels that I do frequent, you know, I have seen, you know, them fighting against each other. I mean, really, you know, making videos about each other and just doing crazy shit back and forth. So that's why I'm saying, okay, and they still consider themselves a part of the manosphere. And these are some of the people that are even complaining about Kevin.
I think it's like BGS said earlier. It pretty much the audience decides who's in the black manosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like we can make all the lists in the world, but you're always gonna have like a large number of people say, you know, what about this guy or what about that guy? And my answer to all of that is the black manosphere is always going to be bigger than the list. You know, that's what it is. Just because some people aren't on the list, like certain moderators have frequent channels, panelists, that doesn't mean they're not a part of it.
Yeah. And they even put names in that say they don't belong to the black manosphere because they don't believe in the message that the black manosphere carries. So how can they be part of it? But, you know, you get those names.
Yeah, you still get those names. They blatantly said things about the black manosphere that is unfavorable. Yeah. Like me personally, I feel like if you speak real shitty about a place, then you're really not a part of it. Yeah. But then again, it's not up to me. Now, there are some people that just go overboard and say that these guys celebrate child molestation and pedophilia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, you know, me personally, I don't speak for the collective, but I wouldn't be enthusiastic about them being anywhere near this place. Like, if you're going to slander folks, like that's some bitch ass shit.
Yeah,
I would say in terms of gatekeeping that there are 3 rules that I would say makes you a part of the quote unquote black manosphere. Right. I would say it's limited to how much time have you been in this space. If you subscribe to most of the frameworks already laid out to you within the previous iterations or oldest members of the manosphere, and how effective and your level of efficacy in the manosphere itself. So like how effective your message actually is. So if you're pushing talking points that are completely out of alignment, then obviously, you know, you may be quote unquote a part of the manosphere, but you really aren't to a certain extent because you don't believe in the same things that, you know, people like me and BGS do. You know what I mean? Like you may not be on the same road. You know, you may be a part of the manosphere, the overall manosphere, but when it comes to our particular sect or mode of operandi, you know, if there's a clear delineation, there just is. There's no way to get around that. But we can't actively gatekeep it, though, unfortunately, because this space doesn't work that way.
No,
Just
not at
doesn't.
all. I can see that, and I haven't been a part of the space as long as some of the others. You know, I do understand that, but what I do observe is some of the people who have been here a little longer, a lot longer, have really railed against the place because of the growth and the change and the evolution that the space is experiencing, and a lot of those people, whether they want to believe it or not, are very important to the space itself. And I mean, if you're gonna keep hanging around, you're still a part of space. But you know, they just I would hear to the Black Manosphere, those guys over in that space. One content creator said those guys down the street or something in a very smug manner.
Oh, yeah.
And
Really?
and me personally, if you're going to speak of the Black Manosphere in that way, to say that we celebrate this child molestation, pedophilia, or something, point us out to them and
Yeah.
give us a link and give us a timestamp to the video where they said, "Hey, I think us over here in the Black Manosphere, let's go fuck some kids or
Yeah.
let's go rape these bitches." Like let
Yeah.
us know who these guys are so we can ostracize them. Like
Yeah.
I don't like whether we have different views and opinions or not. We're not going to celebrate.
You know,
horrible shit like
you-
that.
You know,
you-
Kev, that's fair. That's really fair, and that's what.
if they had proof, they had the sound bite to prove it.
Yeah.
Trust and believe.
I think
Stuff,
this is
stuff that I've said offhand come back to bite me. Somebody clipped it and played it. Okay.
I think it's the worst way to describe somebody, man. You're gonna put that title on them about some child molestation or pedophilia, that type shit. I mean, that's just crazy. Now, if there are some guys in the space like that, you know, I'm quite sure to hit them where it need to hit them, you know. But gosh, I can't even get down like that.
If there were guys in the space that did that, it would be all over YouTube in this manosphere. Trust and believe, like
And
wildfire.
Probably in the mainstream news.
Probably in the mainstream news too. Trust and believe that you can't. There's very little you can actually get away with on YouTube, right? Especially in this space. I have a shouting match with somebody at 3 o'clock in the freaking morning, and somebody happens to listen to it, and it's all next day it's all over the manosphere.
Damn.
Okay. So if somebody does something as heinous as that, and there's proof of it, or says something like that, trust and believe it's going to be all over the manosphere. So I would that's what I would say. If something as salacious as that, if they had proof, trust and believe somebody would play it.
Thing is though, a lot of people who do like try that shit, they leave context out. Like they leave context out all day just to make you look bad. So I'm gonna have this, like me oh god, I really hate to go to me personally route. I would have to see the full context of it before I jump on it.
Yeah, that's why I don't take any of my stuff down. Well, BGS, you said such and such and such and such and such and such. Now I heard this. I said, where'd it come from? They said there. It's still up there. You go listen to it. That's how I get rid of all the stuff that they accuse me of saying. Right? Okay. You didn't hear the context. It's still up there. Go listen to it. And if you decide that you don't want to rock with me because of what is said on there, hey, I understand. It's a big world. You have a nice. I tell them live long and prosper. In other words, I'm done with you.
Yeah, and that's the harsh realities. Can't win them all.
Yeah.
All right, but
if you're a convicted felon, you can still get a channel, right?
There's convicted felons that have channels. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
It ain't like it's a regular job. Like you fill out an application. Have you been convicted of a felony?
Felony. I didn't see that on the terms of agreement, man.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember the terms and stuff.
Oh man.
Well, I do think if you're a content creator, you should live in your truth. If because these are the people that are going to be confiding in you, whatever your life has been, far as criminal or something like that, yeah, it's okay to tell it.
Well, I think that perspective only acts as a form of context, and a lot of people fuck up perspective with truth.
Yeah.
Right. So this whole your truth thing, like I don't subscribe to that at all, and I don't think most men should subscribe to that shit because it's a fucked way to think about anything.
Yeah,
Because you get to acting like a bitch when you do shit like that. Thing is that go ahead, Kev.
No, I'm just gonna say this whole my truth thing is just a way out of the conversation. Is a way out of admitting that the other side is correct, and you know that's just some foolishness right there. But go ahead, PK.
Yeah, so I mean, this whole your truth thing is to try to way to validate your own personal perspective to try to.
That's so female, man. That's feminist talk.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I don't even allow people to
what I mean by that, let me clear it up a little bit now. What I mean by that is, you know, if it comes up, what are you gonna lie about it, or it's gonna come up anyway? I mean, what you gonna do?
Well, then you have two choices: either lie about it and it's gonna come out anyway, or you be who you are. And basically, it's at some point, people that don't like you will dig up something, and most times you won't have any problems if who you are. Online is the same person you are off, you know, in real life. They can complain, but guess what? Nothing they can do, because who you are, what you say on a stream or on a podcast or whatever is the same thing that you would do in real life. What are they going to say?
It's not much you can say.
Like with me, when they dox me, right? Okay, what'd you find? Okay, well, we know his name. I said, well, what you find is I'm the same person that all the stuff that I say online, the same stuff I say offline, and been saying it for years. I'm the same person that I said I was. If you're the same, if you are the person that you say you're online, they can dox you to high heaven. What are they going to do? What are they going to find? The same stuff they would have found anyway.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Oh, he is who he said he was. That's one thing they can't say. BGS is not who he says he is. He is. And that's how come after 6 years, I was doxxed the first year I got on YouTube, especially in the Black Manosphere. Okay, I was doxxed. I said, what'd you find? He is who he says he was. I mean, I try not to give away too much because that's involving other people. And like Kevin says, you don't want to show other people online because that gives people license to go after that person who's not even involved in this affair.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's how come I don't. So at least I try not to. But sometimes that stuff gets out anyway. At the end of the day, that's all I ask. I say, if you're gonna come after me, I'm fair game. No matter what you say about me, I'm fair game. But everybody else is not involved, isn't?
Yeah, no, they're not. And the thing is, it's about the only thing that I think anybody on this platform, even if you're a listener or watcher or avid participant, the thing is the only thing that you can gatekeep is your own life. You know, you can come out here in public and use your image to put forth ideas and information, but outside of that, you know, who you are off of this platform is your personal life, and you have to take steps to protect that, because that's all you can protect. Yeah. You know, because once the message gets out, it can be interpreted any way anybody wants it to. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fair. I think if you put out something or a point of view or even a school of thought, it should be, you know, looked at, criticized, disagreed with, or taken for whatever it's going to be taken for. That's fair.
Yeah, you just about know who is who and who is not, you know, but it's not my concern. Mm-hmm. But you just about know who is. So that's why I'm very careful on who I listen to in these spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen up. It is late. So let's get our final statements in, and I will see you guys next weekend. Or, you know, I might do a couple of pre-recorded videos, and those should always be like entertainment or informative news stories. So whoever wants to go first.
I actually got to go because I got to start getting ready for work. It's late night, so it's early morning, but I got a bad shift I got to work. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day. This has been a good conversation. Hats off to everyone here on the panel, and salute to everyone in the chat. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully BGS does a stream soon. I'll catch him. He's always hiding in somewhere. I don't ever see him no more, man. Yeah, I'll catch you next weekend as well, Kev.
Yeah, being a Force Ghost, you can show up just about anywhere.
That's the way it works. Yeah, you're right.
All right, PK Angel. Thanks once again for coming by. Yeah, you're always welcome.
Thanks,
I can see that. I'm gonna get out of here too. Man, I just wanted to come up on a panel just to discuss the Kirk Franklin issue and
Mhm.
to get everybody else's perspective on the topic. And
Mhm.
I think that BGS gave some very good information today about being tonight about being a content creator and what to expect. You know, because I didn't know that they took a lot of money. That's
Oh,
one thing
oh,
that's all.
they've been complaining about it for years, but it is what it is. You know,
Yes, sir.
sometimes you got to pay the cost. You got to pay the devil for the devil's bargain, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, that is coffee of Babe Blotter News. Thank you once again. Okay, whoever's next.
I'll go. Yeah, it's been fun, man. Like I said, as a force ghost and popping up at just about every place without a regular spot. I think it was a good discussion, and it's probably something that's needed, especially in this space, man. Because I think when you mix fame and money together, man, you're going to get this kind of stuff, especially when people that are not used to handling it. And that's where you get all these fighting over subs and views and clout and that kind of stuff, because it translates into dollars. And I think that's when you mix money into anything, some of the nastiness of human nature can actually come out. But anyway, I'll check you next time, Kev. Peace.
Yeah,
All right,
BGS. Can't wait
BGS.
for the next
Appreciate
Shatter
it.
Point series.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Shout out to Force Windu, man. I miss you, bro. Wherever you are, lightsabers lit.
All right.
And,
All right,
and tuck your lightsaber close to your heart, BGS.
Yeah.
No one try to cut you. Say, I got the Force with me.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Kevin, again. Thank you guys for being a little tolerant with me.
For sure.
So another great show. Hey, see you next weekend.
All right, Y Skinner. That's Y Skinner Man Cave. You always appreciate it, man. You becoming a regular, man. So, like I said, you're always welcome, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
All
Have a
right.
good week. Have a good week. All right.
Yeah.
Chaos Reign.
Yes. A very interesting stream. It'd be nice for people to go back to play back what you missed, like always. Not everything we catch in the first hour or so, but it's always good to know that we got some content out here to push back on the nonsense. And like always, this week's gonna be very interesting. I anticipate a lot of interesting things, from black men and black women. Let's hope it doesn't get too crazy as the week goes by, with some other weird, goofy shit. Indeed.
Okay, yeah. We always want to hope for the best. I mean, I really wish people would take the higher road at times. I mean, it's not that you sacrifice your pride for it. It's just it's the common sense thing to do. So, okay. Thanks for coming by once again, Chaos Reign. Appreciate it.
Yep. We'll see. We'll talk again soon.
Word. All right. Well, it's been a long day for me. So, yeah, it's like I got off the road, then I decided to do a show. Yeah, it's a good life, man. It's a good life, and you get to enjoy it if you can get through the bullshit. Seriously, the way of dealing with the bullshit is to have spaces such as these, and I'm hearing a lot more of the whole narrative, and it's not really a narrative. It's something that we go through as black men. We don't really have any places to go that we can really express our problems and our ability to tolerate the nonsense, through mock therapy session. And people frown on the idea of these kinds of things being therapy sessions, but at the same time, for what we have, for the amount of tolerance that we do have to exercise, then talking to someone, just talking to someone, can make everything better. And really, honestly, thank God for the Black Manosphere. I mean, that is providing the forum for Black men to speak on, whatever we need to. So, because we are very tolerant of the things that get thrown at us, and sometimes we do need an outlet or just need for an ear to listen. And when I create platforms, you know, that's what I believe that this is for. That to share our perspective and to do some problem analyzing and solving. So there it is. There it is. It's been great with you guys this weekend. Join me next weekend, and I'm sure the shows will be great discussions as always. And I hope to see you there. I'm your weekend warrior. This is Kev. It's Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev, we trust. Goodbye.